Texas, close to Mexico. They like to drink tequila, watch the watermelon grow. The heat will try to kill you, the women they will too. They'll smoke you like a brisket, have you sweating through your boots. Throw yourself in a trough, dry off in the shade. Ponder life's decisions, the choices you have made. Ask yourself some questions, how do we end up in this place? Just chilling in the brush like a snake. How'd get here? Where it's going, I don't know. How'd get here? Living life, telling jokes.
Well, howdy.
Howdy.
Welcome to another episode of Howdy Get Here. I got my good buddy Dakota Pearson from South Texas.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Can't complain. Just, man, honored. Thank you for having me, dude. It's super cool. You got a sweet thing going on with your comedy and all that, dude. It's awesome to watch.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming to my show the other night. I appreciate that. That's how this came to be. I ran to Dakota. I opened up for Uncle Laser the other day. And Dakota was nice enough to bring his friends, his fiance, and show up to one of my comedy shows. And I was like, hey, man, we got to do the podcast. And now we're here.
Yeah, no, it was awesome how it all came together, dude. Glad I got to see you in town. I don't want to say hometown. This isn't my hometown, but
yeah,
it's where I'm living now. It's home now, and it was awesome to see you out, do your thing, man. It's really cool to watch you. It was awesome.
Yeah, appreciate that. So a little update. I got my beard's gone because I got a new job. I got off the road. No more hauling horses for me. I am slinging Ram trucks and certified used vehicles.
Hey.
In Blue Bonnet, Dodge Ram, and Chrysler in New Braunfels, Texas. So help me feed my kids that I don't have yet, that they're on the way. But yeah, help me feed them and come buy a truck for me, please. I'm desperate.
Bad credit, no credit. It doesn't matter. We'll get you in a ride today.
I mean, or maybe a ride home sometime.
Yeah, something. We're going to get you something anyways.
Oh, man, I feel so bad. I don't even know what I should or shouldn't say, but this guy came in the other day. He had man.
That's road hard and put up wet, brother.
Dude.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man.
But no, it's been a pretty interesting experience. I've always been on the other side of the table where I'm buying the truck. And so it's interesting to see it on the other side because you always wonder, like,
yeah,
I feel like I'm getting a good deal, but how much are you really fucking me?
Yeah, for sure.
And, man, there's not a lot of that going on, at least at Blue Bonnet here. I can't speak for any other dealership, but, like, brother, we're actually losing money on this vehicle. We're hoping that you buy this, and you're happy enough that when you come for the next one, we'll try to make some money on the next one because, we're just giving this away at this point. Not all of them, right? I'm not saying that for all of them, but I've seen that, and anyways, it's pretty interesting. I never saw myself doing sales, but somebody told me, they're like, hey, being a comedian, you're kind of doing sales for yourself. Like, I'm selling myself, buying my tickets so I can keep, doing comedy, which I don't sell tickets yet. I help people sell tickets, and I hope you buy them.
But, hey, it's a start.
Yeah,
it's a start.
They're saying it's comedy is a form of being an entrepreneur, kind of. And maybe you're not in the beginning stages, but it gets there, hopefully.
100%, dude. Man, yeah, the balls it takes to get up there and do that, dude. Fuck.
Yeah. So you just got off the road. How long ago was that?
For sure. Let's see. There she is. A year. Yeah. Off the road for sure. Yeah, a year.
Off the road, off the reservation, we're off it.
Yeah, man. And it was hard at first. Like, that's what I identified as.
Yeah.
As a cow hauler. Not, livestock. I didn't just haul cows. hauled some sheep, some goats.
No
not,
shit.
Not very much. Yeah, I four-decked a couple loads. I'm not going to say I'm no four-deck guy, but I
What's
did.
a 4-deck?
And it was four decks. So, like a traditional cow pot, you got your nose that you can double out, and then your belly, and then you have your back end. You got your jailhouse, your doghouse, whatever you want to call it, and then your back. And a traditional four deck is 2-4-2. So you have two up front, two just like hauling cows. Actually, it was I think it was a 3-4-2. Thinking
Yeah, because they're gonna call you out.
yeah, for sure. It was 3-4-2, I do believe, and yeah, dude, I think so. You got three levels in your nose, 4 levels in your belly,
Yeah.
and your 2 on the back end, just like normal. Yeah, I think I loaded 400 sheep coming out of Steamboat. Going to New York, we had 400 on there right off the mountain. That was really cool.
So that's hopping in somebody else's rig, or can you manipulate your rig to do that?
Well, yeah, the trailer I pulled, you threw your decks. So when you were hauling cows or whatever, you stack your decks on your bottom pot on the very top, and you stack them. And then if you need to,
Oh, so that trailer maneuvers on the inside. You can rearrange it.
Yeah. You rearrange it from you don't have to hook up to anybody else. You have everything you need on the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how my horse trailer was. I can offer box stalls or single stalls or stall and a half. We can move the inside of the trailers around to accommodate whatever we had to.
Yeah, and you can tell, for people out there, I wasn't a 4-deck guy. You know what I mean? I did it 2 times. But I could say I did it. I hauled a lot of cows. That was our main thing. Was hauling cows.
Steamboat to New York.
Steamboat to New York.
Where in New York? Do you remember?
Man, it was up in the Finger Lakes area. I don't remember. I could look at my phone, and I got pictures, so I could tell you exactly where it was. But it was like upstate New York.
Yeah.
I wasn't too far from getting up by Niagara and stuff. Yeah.
That's wild. I went up to Lake Placid for a horse show one time up there.
Dang it.
It's different country. It's for New York, not what I was picturing.
Oh, me either. You know what I mean? I always imagine New York as New York City, you know what I mean? But it was beautiful. I mean, it was the farmland, the farm country out there. Man, it was really cool. Pennsylvania's cool too.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's beautiful.
Dude, I was at a meat packing plant in upstate New York one time when I used to haul reefer. That was probably my first time up in the Northeast like that. I'm like, oh, this is not what I was expecting at all. And there's a bunch of livestock out there and a lot of stuff going on. And there's new. I mean, I didn't know that there was horses in New York until I started hauling them there. Because to me, I'm like, what the hell am I doing in New York City? Well, it does a racetrack. Now, ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
I found out the hard way that they had horses in New York City.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. I
travel
commend
there.
you for the routes you took. You did that triangle on the East Coast. And, dude, the East Coast trucking is a different world, man. The East Coast is something else for a truck.
Yeah, no, I don't miss it at all. Like I tell people all the time, if I were to get a letter in the mail to the house saying, "Hey, you're banned from the Northeast," maybe one tier, not really. That one's just for acting. That's to hell with them, man. I mean, like that.
Yeah.
I kind of do, but no, trucking. Because people are like, "I love New York City." I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't drive a fucking truck in New York City.
Yeah.
that's why you love it."
Yeah.
Well, not even New York City, man. Anything north of Richmond, Virginia, I don't want
Yeah.
anything to do with.
Hey, the Richmond, north of Richmond.
Dude, a couple months, or not one of the last loads, but like towards the end of my horse hauling career, I picked up a load in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Boston area, and I took them down to Connecticut, hopped on a ferry with the big trucks, 2 18-wheelers, hopped on the ferry with them, and took them to the Hamptons, to the Hampton Classic Horse Show.
No shit.
And
That's
that was
awesome.
something I got cross off the list before I got out of it. You know, like
Yeah, like, like there's just things in trucking, the triple T, like that's one of the, like, that's a thing you do trucking is you stop at the triple T, and I never did that, never got to stop there, but that's really cool, like, it's cool, like there's things in the horse hauler world to like, the crossing off, it's like, the fall run, the spring run coming out of California, things like that. You cross it off your list and you're like, cool, fun. But that's a rough one.
yeah. So like it's funny you bring up the triple T. I got the T-shirt on right now. When I bought this T-shirt, funny story. So I'm in there. I'm passing through it was pretty recently. I was passing through and I was like, let me stop in here because I knew I was getting off the road. I had an idea. I didn't know when or where or what or how, but I knew
it was coming.
I knew it was coming. Yeah. And so I stop off in the Triple T, and they got a good little kitchen in there. It's very hard to find a truck stop with a decent kitchen nowadays. Like a lot of them are shut down. One of my favorite ones is Russell's in Springer, New Mexico, off 25. They shut that down. TA bought it, shut it down. I mean, it's
it was like Segovia, out on 10 right before you get to Junction. It wasn't nothing, but it was it was just one of the old ones. That was like third generation, my dad, my grandpa, and like that's where they would stop going out west when they didn't have to take the Del Rio route.
Well, so it may not be much for some people, but knowing what you're getting into before you get there, hey, I know the patty melt's killer. I know, I can get pancake or whatever it is, whatever that certain place has. I found this one place in Colorado. They had meatloaf and eggs for breakfast, which sounds terrible. Why would you mix the two? I tried it because I saw it on the menu. I'm like, it's on the menu for a reason. And I'll tell you what, that meatloaf for breakfast was pretty good. And but just knowing the spots like that, knowing what you're getting into.
Oh yeah.
I remember going up to Lexington, Kentucky when I was younger. At the stockyards there, the bluegrass stockyards, they used to have a kitchen in there, and it was killer. I mean, it's so good. The food was so good. I look forward to hauling sale horses out of Florida because I'd roll in about 4 a.m. to Lexington, unload, muck out, wash out, and then get to the kitchen when they opened up at like, 5:50, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'd get a 14-ounce ribeye over some homemade, they weren't potato chips, but imagine potato chips just a little bit thicker. So they're kind of flexible, but they're still crunchy.
Yeah.
And then with eggs.
The Lexington barn is something else, man. That's
Well, it's not, so that place ain't there anymore. It's called Hayden's now, Hayden's. Last time I was in there, and the food was all right, but I missed that old place before COVID.
Yeah.
COVID killed that one. COVID killed many good freaking places to get a good bite to eat.
But damn, it was a great time for trucking, boy.
Oh, dude, I was clearing.
Golly, could you fly through a city?
Dude.
You could, the major cities. You could go through like Chicago, Atlanta, dude, at any time. There was nobody.
Yeah, put the cruise on, make a sandwich in the back. Yeah.
Let's go. It was a great time for trucking. As hard and as fast as you wanted to go. Let's do it. What
was your best trip that you remember from COVID that you made? And feel free not to say it, but
no, it's good. I'm gonna leave some names out, but dude, it was February. Was it? It had to have been. What was it? 2021 when it was popped off, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
2020.
Okay, it was February 2020. Dude, dang it, let me
go for it
real quick. I'll have to, just so I know exactly, because it is golden.
I'll tell you.
It was 21,
okay.
I believe. Let me see. I'm almost there. It was February 21, I'm pretty sure. Dang it.
So I'll tell you one that I remember clearly. I don't know if you know this now. I used to drive for Walmart for a couple months.
Dude, yeah, Walmart's. I remember talking to you and you telling me you were going to Walmart. People quit their career to go drive for them. You were telling me the school is hella hard. It's in Bentonville too, isn't it?
Yeah. So I was hauling horses, and I've always wanted to get off the road. I think everybody wants to get off the road while they're on it, and they want to hop right back on it as soon as they get off. But I was getting wore out, doing these runs, especially doing livestock. You just get wore out, and so I was like, you know what? And Walmart popped up out of nowhere, and I took it. I was like 20. I think I'm one of the youngest, if not the youngest driver to ever get hired at Walmart. I was like 24.
Shut up.
Maybe 25.
Dang.
Yeah. And they hired me for some reason. I wasn't expecting it. And anyways, I'm running with them, and COVID happens like almost immediately afterwards. So I was there for like 2 or 3 months, and then COVID hits. And so one of the runs that I remember clearly, I did like 2 or 3 local, pick up at the distribution center here in New Braunfels.
Yeah, I was gonna say because when you were working for them, it was around. Like the DC was in New Braunfels.
It was
right?
local. Yeah, it's right here. So anyways, I did. So what you do is you take a load from a loaded trailer to a store from the DC, and then come back with an empty, and then you're just shuttling freight around for Walmart. It's I forgot what they call it, the term for it, private fleet, I believe, because you're only hauling for yourself. So I did like 2 loads to 2 stores real quick, and then I got a 3rd load, and I went up to like Plainview, Texas, and I cleared. It was close to 700 miles in a Walmart truck that goes 65. And so I remember them calling me like, "Hey, did you like manipulate your logs or anything?" I'm like, "It's an e-log. I have no way." And this thing only does 65. And they're like, "How did you get that many miles?" I was like, "I'm just moving, brother, keeping the door closed."
Yeah,
just moving.
No doubt. All right. So, are you talking like just like how many miles in a trip?
No,
like
just so you're like
most.
Man, I
okay,
could have never done this under normal circumstances.
Oh, well, under normal circumstances, dang it. Yeah, it would have to be. We were in California. I was a buddy asked me to fly out to California and help him and another guy get some trucks. They had to load some cows, all like south of Lodi, and go up to Washington. We were going to take some dairy cows to the port and in Seattle, and they were going to go to, I can't remember, like Asia or somewhere. Yeah. Really cool deal, And it was right at the beginning of COVID, because this was like, because we were in California, and like masks weren't like, it wasn't like mandatory everywhere, especially out on the West Coast. You know what I mean? It wasn't, they weren't bad yet. And it was a trip, man. We get into Oregon, and things go awry. And a guy gets pulled over, ends up getting arrested. We're almost to where we need to be, and we get a phone call. It's like, "Hey, what's going on?" We're like, we don't know, but we'll get unloaded and we'll handle it. We got unloaded, bobtail. We left the trailer. We unhooked the trailer, bobtailed to go get his truck that was loaded, and we got it turned around, got to where it needed to be, and everything was okay the next day. He was out of jail. It was a thing, but that was probably during COVID. That would be my most memorable experience for sure. Now, like running wise, yeah, 700 in a 60-mile-an-hour truck is, dude, that's...
It's 60 miles. What were you driving that was 60 miles an hour?
Not me. No, you. 65.
Oh, yeah, 65.
Miles in a 65-mile-an-hour truck.
When have you been known to drive something like... Yeah, that was...
No, that's...
That wasn't for me, man. It was a great opportunity, great job. I mean, benefits were amazing.
Oh, yeah, you had, like, sweet little perks, too. Like, if you stayed in the truck, it was, like, a little extra. If you washed your truck, it was, like... They had some cool little deals for...
Yeah, I was making close to, like, $3,000 a week or something like that. And 5 days a week.
Benefits?
Yeah, working 5 days a week. It was ridiculous money.
Dude.
I think during COVID, it was, like, $600 a day I was averaging.
Hell
yeah. It was something crazy. And then there's all these other bonuses you hit. And then during COVID, they were throwing out like hazard pay. It was like,
oh, nice.
It was a great job, but it wasn't for me, dude. Just drop a hook, drop and hook.
Yeah, that was one thing I like to be welded to a trailer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to have to, I hauled equipment for a little bit, and when I first got into it, I was hauling for my brother, and I was begging him. I was like, dude, please just, could you get something get a cow pot?
Yeah.
I know how to do that. You know what I mean? I know how to do that. And then I got the hang of it. And
Is that when you were moving dozers and stuff around?
yeah, dozers, excavators, man. We were doing a bunch of oil field stuff. We hauled it was just a big trencher. That was pretty neat to haul.
You're hauling some pretty hefty stuff. That was out in California?
That was out of here. Yeah, I got it. Really, I got into hauling equipment was from fire. Yeah, I just got a call from a buddy. Really, he wasn't even a buddy at the time. He was my brother's friend, and he needed a pickup. Drove out to California, so he had a pickup, like they call them chase trucks.
Yeah.
Service truck, whatever. And I was going to drive his wife's car back. No big deal. I got out there, and he's like, what do you have going on? And at the time, I was in between jobs, and
Buddy, not a damn thing.
And I was like, man, I don't have anything. He's like, how long can you stay? I was like, man, I could kick it for probably 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever. We can figure it out. I'll be all right. And I was out there, yeah. It was right at 10 days, and ended up getting a job. And because having a CDL in the fire game is huge, dude. It's like they're begging for drivers. And so got a deal doing that, and it was sweet. My first driving job on fire was like a 550 with a Mini X, you know what I mean? It was sweet. It was no big deal. And then I got for the same company, the next year, I hauled a feller buncher. It was a Komatsu, I can't remember the numbers, 445 or something. And it's like an articulating excavator, but the cab rotates. So on really steep
you
terrain,
can straighten up the cab?
Yeah, you can straighten the cab. So
or level it out, I guess.
Yeah, level it out. You can level yourself out. And I think the paper, my paperwork to come from, was it California to New Mexico, was $125,000. So that was the biggest load I ever hauled. And that's what got me into hauling equipment, was fire, moving excavators and dozers around and stuff. So that's what got me into it. And then, working for my brother, that's what they were doing at the time. Not so much cow hauling, more moving equipment around.
How did that work over the road with heavy equipment? You can only run daylight hours, or what's the stipulations there?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. Because
did y'all not run legal?
Man, if we absolutely had to, but most of the equipment we were hauling, you didn't need pilots or anything like that. But I think, some of the dozers and stuff we hauled, you probably weren't supposed to be going after dark, and, whatever.
That's my opinion. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah, no one got hurt. No one got caught. She was with me. Morgan was with me, and we were coming out of San Angelo, and we were coming out of Eden, and I had that dozer on, and they had some construction going over the little creek crossing coming out of town, and dang it, I was just like, oh, babe, it's fixing to get real tight real quick. And man, that blade was about that far over them concrete barriers, and there's nothing you could do at that point, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to hold anyone up and cause a commotion to get any cops or anything called, So if we were going to hit it, we were going to hit it and keep going. That concrete, that cement will break,
Yeah.
That cutting bit will take it out,
Dude, there was a couple, I've had a couple loads where I don't know how we got out of that, but we did, got through it somehow.
Yeah. Sometimes,
I picked up a load of horses at Tryon, North Carolina, and I brought them down to Tomball, Houston area. Nobody told me, I don't watch the fucking news, nobody told me there's a hurricane coming. So I'm passing through Beaumont, and I start getting weather alerts. and your phone's going off. I'm like, what the hell? And I open my phone up on the weather app. I'm like, dude, we're in it. Yeah, we're in it. There ain't no turn. Even if I turn around, I'm not escaping it. And might as well just head towards the farm. So I'm like, whatever. I've been through rain. So I usually, when I'm going to Tomball and I'm already on passing through Beaumont, I don't take 10. I hop on 90 through the Dayton and those towns. I was like, those roads flood. I'm not doing that this time. Stayed on 10. Finally, the first band of rain hits me. I mean, I can't even see the front of my hood. It's that bad. So I'm like following the rumble strip and hoping nobody's parked in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Well, my wipers are going. I had a Kenworth T660, and so I'm in the T660, and the wipers they come.
Oh
Yeah. So they start touching each other because I had it on full blast, and then they just shot straight up and stayed there. And I blew a wiper motor in the middle of a hurricane.
Oh no!
And I'm like, so do I sit park? Oh, I pulled into. I couldn't see shit, so I'm like, all right, let me just keep going. I see an exit. I'm gonna take it the best I can, and hope that there's a truck stop. I kind of know where the truck stops are at, so I'll make it to a truck stop and I'll park under the awning, like in a fuel island. And I swear to God, my buddy when the wiper motor went out on me and I pulled in the truck stop, my buddy woke up and he's like, what's going on? I'm like, we don't have any wipers. He starts getting dressed. He's like, if we crash, I ain't going to stay in the sleeper for this. So he gets dressed, whatever. And I'm like thinking about what to do. And I'm making phone calls like, hey, should I run it or should I stay parked? I was trying to figure out what to do. And he looks over. He's like, I don't know what your plan is, but we need to do it over there. And I'm like, why? And I look over and the awning's falling apart. The bricks are flying off. Yeah, this thing's about to go down. I'm like, oh my God. So I pull forward I pull it between two 18-wheelers and back into a spot. And I'm like, man, I'm going to let this band, because it comes in bands. So I'm going to let this band blow by and I'll go on the highway and get down the road. And when it gets bad again, I'll pull over because I don't have any wipers. And so that was the plan. It worked for about 4 hours till I got there. It was a long, long day.
Oh, yeah, that makes for a long day. Get you some Rain X, beat that shit off.
Dude, I stopped at every truck stop between Beaumont and Houston. Not one of them had Rain X in them.
Yeah,
and I'm looking up remedies, right? I'm like, heavy rep WD-4. I'm trying everything.
Yeah,
I couldn't
for
get shit
sure.
going.
Just to get some kind of bead, you just see something.
So I'll make it to the farm, and the sun comes out, and the freaking storm's gone for the most part. I'm like,
yeah,
perfect timing.
Yeah,
unload my horses, and I start heading back to Dallas, Fort Worth, and the first Walmart I pass, I'm like, I'm gonna pull in there and buy like 3 cans of Rain X in case this shit ever happens again. And yeah, I was just one of them trips. Like, man, I don't know how we made it through that, but we did somehow.
Yeah, dude, man,
freaking trucks, huh?
Fuck, dude.
It's
always something with them, man.
Dude,
always something.
Let me tell you about my recent experience with trucks. So I was going on a test drive for a brand new 2025 Ram 1500. It was a bighorn, pretty nice truck. It was a sweet family, husband and wife that came in. They knew more or less what they wanted, and I put them right on it, and they're like in love with it. All right, let's go for a test drive. Get the keys, and we pull out of the dealership. The first light we get to, the start-stop feature on the, you seen that, where the engine shut off?
Uh-huh.
Well, this truck was dead before he hopped in it. The porter told me, hey, the truck's dead. Don't shut it off for like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, no problem. We're going on a test drive. No problem. Get to the first light. The start-stop feature kicked in. The engine shut off. Goes into park immediately, and she's like, it won't go. And I'm like, what? I'm in the back seat, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I realized, the truck turned off, and it doesn't have enough juice to crank back on. So it just put itself in the park and put the e-brake on its own because of safety feature. So I'm like, oh, God, all right, here we go. And we're not far from the dealership at all. We literally just turned out. So I go grab a dually that I went on a test drive in that morning. I knew I had the key at my desk. So I'm like, hop in the dually, put it behind the 1500 and get some lights going because there's no lights. There's no nothing. They're just parked in the lane. So I go do that, and I go grab a jump starter because I have one of those in my desk too. Dude, this thing kills my jump starter. When I get hooked up to it, it just bloop, 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 the battery started going down. Like, how dead is this thing, So I find another jump starter, get the whole deal. Anyways, we ended up just bailing on the truck and going back to the dealership, grabbing a different 1500. And but I'm like, man, I thought I got away from this. I thought I was dealing with brand new trucks, and here I am breaking down again.
Dude. Always. Man. It is always something in a big truck, bro.
Dude, I did a run up to Canada like recently. I went up empty to Canada to bring a load of horses down to Scottsdale from not Calgary, whatever's across the border from Seattle. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, Vancouver. No, it's the island.
Yeah.
Vancouver's an island, but
So I was in that area. It's a horse show called Thunderbird. So I took a load of horses there.
that's British Columbia.
There we go.
Yeah,
BC.
BC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's British Columbia.
So I'd taken a load of horses up there like a month or two prior. They were there for like 6 or 8 weeks, and then I was trying to bring them home. Well, I took them there from Katy, Texas, but they were going back home to Scottsdale. And on my way up, I was empty and I was solo. I soloed, man, I forgot where I soloed, but it was something ridiculous like New Mexico to Seattle. And I was like, I'm going to park in Seattle or something. And anyways, the truck, I ended up hopping in a truck in Denver, swapping trucks. And they're like, this one has a brand new motor, whatever. We just got to rebuild because it died on me like 2 or 3 times before, like blew up, died. Like, not rebuild, new motor kind of died. Yeah. So this one, like, fresh, just got out of the shop, fresh build, this and that. Cool. I'm in Little America truck stop in Wyoming. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, been there, brother.
Yeah, I don't remember. It wasn't the Cheyenne one. What's that? It's Little America, Wyoming, I think is the name
Little
of the town.
America. Yep.
So I'm like pulling in there. I just went over a small hill and turned my jakes on to go down. And the jakes turn on and everything sounds good. I turn the jakes off when I level out and I give it some throttle. Nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not getting any turbo. I'm not getting any response other than like it sounds
No
terrible.
fuel.
No, I don't know. And it has like a nasty, like loud banging. And, I forgot what it was exactly. But anyways, it's going, but I have no power. But the engine's still running. So immediately, it was like the first exit right there. There's a Little America. Maybe it's not. I forgot the name of it. Anyways, I pull into that truck stop. And I'm pulling in there, and it's loud. It sounds like somebody's banging on my exhaust with a pipe wrench. So I shut it off. I'm like, that can't be good, whatever that is. And so I call my boss. Hey, man, I don't know what happened to this thing. I'm not even loaded. I had the cruise on like 68, just cruising. Well, and it wasn't even speeding or nothing. He's like, all right, I'll send, And I'm like, dude, freaking trucks, right? Like, I have no heat. It's 20 degrees outside. I have no heat.
Dude,
I got to crawl in the sleeper and try to stay warm. So part of, I miss the road, but things like that, I'm appreciative to sleep in my own bed at night.
Yeah. You say the no heater deal, man. It was one of the last times I hauled cows, and it was, dude, what a deal it was. Had my little boy with me, which is nothing new. This kid has been, dude, miles, thousands of miles in a big truck, brother. He has been from Florida to Texas, he's been all over Texas, New Mexico, Kansas, Oklahoma. Little shit's been everywhere. You know what I mean? He's done a lot of trucking, and he absolutely loves them. Dang it.
You hauled around with your dad when you were a kid, didn't you?
Where I was going. Yes, yeah. Not so much when I was a kid. A little older, yeah. He taught me how to drive. Dang it, I forgot where I was going. But yeah, my dad. Yeah, I learned how to drive with my dad. He got out of trucking when like right before my brother was born. And then kind of got back into it. I think when I was like 12 or 13, got a truck again and did a little bit of trucking. And then he got divorced and then started really trucking again. So yeah, like right outside of, we rodeoed and we had one. So I never drove it, but like 18, I started hauling sale barns with him. You know what I mean? I'd been around cattle and shit my whole life, just never hauled them. But, from 18 to 21, we hauled a bunch of cows, did some oil field. He pulled a vacuum trailer. So we did that, and that's where I learned how to drive. And man, I drove with my dad a lot, man. Him and I, like in the same truck together, put on thousands of miles, and then just him and I being able to truck together was really cool. And and my brother, we didn't always get to do it, but we all three did it from time to time, and it's a pretty cool memory. I get to truck. I got to truck with my dad a lot, and man, he could get it on.
Yeah.
He could get it on, man.
So team driving is not the greatest invention known to man, but when you got somebody you trust behind the wheel, there ain't no better feeling than like, all right, I'm gonna rack out, you take over, I'm done. And they hop in, and you wake up and you're 700, 800 miles down the road, like, woo, good job, dude.
Yeah.
And knowing that, like, I didn't have to do that on my own,
Yeah, that's, man.
Because, like,
and to be in that close of quarters with somebody for that long,
yeah.
you have to, you know what I mean?
You're going to end up in a fight or two at least.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be ready to kill each other by the end of your rounds, some of them, but yeah, I would imagine being able, because that's a tough deal. But that is nice to know that you can have someone you're like, you got it?
Yeah.
And I can fully just go back there and just crash out. Because listen, if I know someone can drive a truck, I'm going to get back in that sleeper. And I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to sleep. I love sleeping. A big truck put me right to sleep if I'm in the sleeper.
Do that turbo for me. It's that home. Yeah.
In the sound of the motor. Yeah. Rock me to sleep,
So I don't know if I ever told you how I got into trucking, but it found me. I didn't seek it out. It found me, and I was in the oil field 2016. I think it was February 2nd, 2016. It was a Monday. I was working in the oil field at Fesco. I get called in the office, and I just rigged up a job that like Sunday or Saturday. So Monday morning, I come in. I think they're going to give me a raise. I'm like, dude, I've been busting my ass. I'm getting a raise. Go in there like, hey, man, we're going to have to let you go.
I thought, Wacho, you gotta go, brother. God.
So I was like, and I wasn't even mad because I hated that job, but all my buddies were getting laid off in the oil field, and I felt very ungrateful to want to quit my job when people were losing theirs.
Yeah.
So I just stuck it out, and when they got rid of me, I was like, sweet. Thank you for the experience. Shook their hands. I got out of there. I ended up at Del Mar in Corpus, and I was like, man, let me go see what it costs to get my CDL. And it was like $5,500. I was like, man, I'm not gonna blow my savings the first day I lost my job. So you can pay cash. You get $5,500 cash. You can get a student loan or you can get a grant. I was like, well, I ain't gonna qualify for a grant, and I'm not gonna take out a loan. Like I said, first day I lost my job. I'm not gonna go take out a loan. So I was like, nah, I'm good. And then I went home, lit the pit, bought some beer, bought some meat, lit the pit. Get a phone call.
What else do you do when you lose your job?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Might as well.
Yeah. So I get a phone call. Hey, is this CARLOS LOPEZ? Yep. Hey, this is so-and-so from Del Mar. I got an opportunity you might be interested in. You should get down here. And from Kingsville, that's 45 minutes. So I was like, I think I'm good. I don't think I want to spend that kind of money right now. And they're like, no, trust me. I can't tell you what this is. I'm not allowed to call you and tell you what this is. I'm just letting you know if you come back in this office, you won't regret it. All right, I heard enough. Hop in the truck, go back to Corpus. And they tell me, hey, the state of Texas sponsored like 25 people to pay for their CDL and give them like $200 a week for 3 weeks for class for gas and food or whatever. And there's no, you don't have any obligations. All they're hoping is that you go into the construction industry, but you're not required to. They just want to get more truckers out there, hauling belly dumps and shit like that. Cool. Sign me up, So I did an interview and see if I qualified. And they were like, why do you think you deserve this? I'm like, well, I don't want to be a freaking bum. I don't want to be homeless living under a bridge. I don't have a job right now. I just lost my job this morning. And I think that's what kind of impressed them a little bit because I literally just lost my job that morning. And I was already like looking for something else.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they kind of like, hey, this kid,
Yeah, got a little drive to him. Yeah.
So I started class that next Monday. That was Monday. I started class that next Monday. Did my CDL class in 2 weeks. A week later, took my driving test. Got my CDL. First try. Everything the first try. I got it. It was like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And then my one of my grandma's ex-husbands was like my grandpa, like my grandpa when I was a kid, but he was only around for a year or two. But I knew who he was. I remember him when I was a kid. He's been a trucker since the 90s. Well, he knows somebody that knows somebody. Like, it's not even anybody close or direct.
Yeah.
Somebody knows somebody that has a job for me. So, cool. I hop in the truck with this dude that don't speak any English, straight from Mexico, doesn't speak any English, hauls reefer from McAllen, South
To
Texas.
New York, right?
To New Jersey.
New Jersey.
So, I hop in the truck with him. Bro, I got my CDL with a 10-speed. This thing's got a little red knob on the side of it. I don't even know what that does. I don't even use it. Yeah. I was like, we'll deal with that another day.
I'm not split them to get them.
And this guy don't speak any English, so I can't even ask. Hey, what does that do? I can see what he's doing. I don't know what's going on.
No habla.
And I double clutched everything. He's not even touching the clutch. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So, anyways,
I remember kind of vaguely talking about this one night on the road. Yeah.
So I get to New Jersey, we unload, and he's showing me around, but what do you call it? I don't really know much. So the guy that owns the trucks, he has like four rigs, 4 reefers, and he owns a warehouse, and so it's a mom and pop deal where they own the trucks, they own the produce, they own the warehouse, and they just sell produce to New Jersey, New York City. And he's like, "You want a job?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You got a CDL?" "Mm-hmm. Do you have any experience?" "I sure do." I mean, I was, telling the truth for most of it.
Yeah.
I had experience by driving up here.
Yeah, for sure.
I had no experience at all. So he gives me the keys to this pretty new T680 Kenworth. And he's like, all right, well, there's a load of bananas at the port of Philadelphia. Take the New Jersey Turnpike, go pick them up, come back. And you come back, you got a job. All right. That's when I really was like, what's this red knob do? That's when I really figured it out. I figured out how to float. I mean, it's not graceful by any means, but I figured it out. And I got down to New Jersey, got to the port, picked up a load of bananas, came back to Patterson, New Jersey, unloaded my produce, and he's like, all right, you're hired, you got the job. Sweet, what do I do? Go back to Texas, take a load of dry freight down to Texas, pick up a load of reefer, come back to New Jersey, and just keep doing that. And that's how I got my first CB handle was Jersey.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's how you got your first handle, yeah.
Yeah, Jersey boy, which is kind of gay, but, you can't pick your own, right? So it is what it is. And but that was my introduction to trucking. It was all paper logs, all loose leaf paper logs.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought that's how it was done. I thought everybody did it that way. So I'm like, yeah, you just load in South Texas, and then 48 hours you're in New Jersey. What's the holdup, And somebody, when I got hired at my second trucking job, hauling horses, I was like, they told me, hey, go from Pennsylvania to Florida. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll be there in the morning. And they're like, no. It's going to take about 2.5 days or whatever, a day and a half. It's going to be about 2 days, something like that. I'm like, I mean, I guess it could take that long if you needed to,
Yeah,
what's the holdup?
I don't need it to be a 2-day trip.
Yeah,
I can do it.
I'll be there
in a day.
Yeah, I'll be there in the morning. I don't see what the problem is. And that's when I learned, there's rules to this, and you got to run legal and stuff.
Yeah, 14 hours.
Yeah, whatever.
14 hours.
Dude, I just did a Fort Worth to L.A.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, straight. I mean, I had 2 donkeys and a bunch of tack.
That's where you just kick her in the ass.
Half the trip.
You ride 10 the whole way?
No, because Fort Worth I had
Oh no, you're up on 20.
No, I didn't even do that. I think I went up to 40 and went over for some reason.
Damn, 40's a rough bitch.
Man, I remember how there was something up. There was something up on that load where I had it.
You get out of Texas and you get into New Mexico on I-40 and Arizona.
Yeah. No, that's what I did. I ran up.
Oh, my God.
Because I was already north of Fort Worth. I was in Collinsville, almost Oklahoma. So I just ran over to Amarillo and hopped on 40 and took 40 over to 10. And 40 all the way across. Yeah, to L.A.
Yeah, 40.
And
40, that's rough.
Just me and 2 donkeys, and half the load was just me getting loaded. These 2 donkeys wanted nothing to do with that trailer. And it was a brand new freaking Cimarron from the factory. It was the first load they ever had any livestock in it. And it was a customer's rig, actually. It was a gooseneck, wasn't a big truck. And brand new Denali dually. I mean, this is the sweetest rig I've ever been in as far as a pickup. And so I show up, and I'm like, just 2 donkeys. They're like, hey, there's 2 horses. I was told horses. Hey, there's 2 horses in the barn. Load them up and go. Cool. Drive up there. I go to the stall has 2 donkeys in it. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna steal anybody's donkeys, am I?
Yeah, hey, yeah. This doesn't match my paperwork. These
Yeah.
are not horses.
Yeah. So they're like, no, it's a donkey. So I'm like, cool. So I try to load them up, and these things want nothing to do with the trailer, and it takes me about an hour and a half to get them in there. Because like those things are, say what you want about them, but like they just plant their feet and they ain't going nowhere.
Oh, the more you pull, they're just gonna sit there. Exactly.
You just have to wait for them to be their idea to walk in there.
They just put their head out there like, I can do this all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if they still do it. Probably some people still do, but like I remember like King Ranch, that's how like cattle, that's how they would like break show cows to
they halter them.
They'd halter them to a donkey.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk? I'm gonna kick the shit out of you until you move.
Yeah.
And then when you go back to the human, you're gonna lead around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never had to do it or seen it done, but
I've never seen it either, but
I've heard.
Yeah, just like you said, they just gonna sit there and once it's their idea, boom, cool. It's like, what? That's like dairy cows, man. Unloading dairy cows, my gosh. It can be a nightmare. These bitches just won't get off the trailer.
What was your favorite? What's an ideal load for you? Or like, hey, I got all the different kinds of cattle lined up. You can take one, whatever you want. What are you loading?
What am I gonna load? Man, probably South Texas cows. You know what I mean? Like,
They're pretty chill or what?
no, nah. You got to know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can go to, like, when you load up in the Midwest and, like, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, these cattle are handled so much more. So they're so much more docile. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you won't get your ass run over or pinned in a corner, because there's always that possibility, and there's always that one, but like you have to be pretty correct loading, or like some Florida cattle, Louisiana, like anywhere kind of on the coast.
Yeah.
Or some, you want to know what you're doing, and I like that. I like
Little rank.
Yeah, a little rank. You got to be on your toes a little bit. You know what I mean? So I like to load something. That would be like an ideal load, just because you have to pay attention. You don't get, like, you can't get complacent, because you'll get a gate kicked in your face. You'll get your ass. That's a death trap. When you commit to going up that ramp or in that belly, like you are committing to maybe getting your ass whipped in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And ain't no one going to be able to help you. And that's another thing, too. Like, if you're loading with people, you don't want to load with some jackass that's just not paying attention or whatever, because you have one run up behind you in the chute. We used to load a bunch of kill cows, at all the sale barns, like, around here. And we did it all by ourselves at night, like, sales over a day or 2 or 3 ago, these are kill cows, like, so you're doing this all by yourself. So, like, I fancied myself, you know what I mean? I could get around, and I've been around cattle my whole life, you know what I mean? But,
being around
I could haul fucking cows. I could haul some fucking cattle.
And
I did it with some of, the best, in my opinion, and some are still doing it, you know what I mean? Like, some of my buddies, they're the real deal. They're the real deal, and I got, you know what I mean? I got to haul with them, which is really cool to say.
I love nothing more than being around other people that are pretty handy, and that it wasn't all talk. Like, people love talking. Oh, I'm handier than shirts on the, pockets on the shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
Being around people that are pretty handy, it's such a different experience. I remember one time we loaded horses at the airport in Chicago O'Hare.
Yeah, you got to do some cool shit, man.
And there was a crew from England, and they were like city dudes from England, and they just could not get shit going, and they're hired help. we're supposed to stand back and let them do their job. And it got to the point where we're damn, I had a couple buddies that were a little Western, and we kind of, without saying anything, like, hey, we got it. And we start doing their job for them because I'm like, dude, these guys is going to get somebody hurt. I think one day when I wasn't there, one horse got loose and was like running down the runway at Chicago O'Hare.
Oh my!
They had to ground planes because somebody fucked up.
And could you imagine like people at an airport trying to catch not just a horse but a racehorse on top of it? You know what I mean? My gosh, this animal is scared beyond belief, and then you have people even more scared trying to catch this thing
with jets flying around.
Yeah. Like,
you know how easy it is to spook a horse.
Oh,
so I like doing those loads where we get to meet with the crew from Japan or Australia or somewhere,
cool, man.
But like, you also don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
like the dudes from Korea, I think it was Korea. Those guys that were on it, they knew their shit. They knew what they're doing. They weren't scared of horse. That's one thing that always amazed me. People that work in the horse industry that are scared of horses. Made no sense to me. I'm like, hey, you don't know how to swim and you're a lifeguard?
Yeah,
what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's the same with hauling cows. It's like you get some people that you're just like, what are you doing out here?
Really?
Oh, dude. Fat haulers. A bunch of, like just going to, like, not kill plants, but, meat packing plants, like where they're just going to feedlot, just hauling fat cattle like these dudes. You know what I mean? I tried to respect, like the ones, like my dad and those older guys that came from trucking when it was, you know what I mean? It was harder because they had not as good of trucks, you know what I mean? But they weren't doing anything different than we were doing. You know what I mean? They weren't doing anything different except their trucks weren't as good.
Did I send you the videos and pictures of that 79 GMC that I drove?
No.
So I get a call one day. This was like 2023, the end of the year. I get a call probably around Thanksgiving, right before, right after. My boss calls and says, hey, I never get asked, would you like to do this, right? So when I get a call, hey, would you like to do this? I'm like, what's the catch?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
So he calls me, hey, would you like to go to Casper, Wyoming? I'm like, all right, to do what? He said, just all you're doing is picking up a truck. Bobtail. Bobtail, whatever. I'm like, all right, sounds easy enough. Casper, Wyoming to Denver, Colorado. 4 hours or 400 miles. I don't remember what it is exactly. So it's not far, but it's not close. And I was like, yeah, went up there. So I fly in, it's in the evening, and it's probably about, I'm good right now. It's probably about 12 degrees, 17 degrees, and there's snow on the ground. I'm like, all right, whatever. I've driven the snow, no big deal. The lady that picks me up, it was a truck. It was a truck from an oil company, like a drilling company. They owned it, and they were giving it to somebody, some kind of weird deal. So it's not owned by a company. It's owned by a guy at this point. So she takes me to the yard where the truck's at. It's like an abandoned drilling company yard. And there's this old truck. It's a 1979 GMC General, I think is what it's called. And I'm like, I got to drive that. And it's 17 degrees outside, 15 degrees outside. There's ice on the road. And I don't even know how old these tires are. And then the sun's going down, so I can't even see. I can barely see the truck. So I go to get the key and turn, and there's nothing. I'm like, there's no. So I open the battery box up. There's no batteries in it. So then I open the hood, and there's like no starter on it. I'm like, what is going on here? So I call my boss. I'm like, hey, yeah, no, this ain't just picking up a truck. I have to wrench on it a little bit, and nothing major, but still, you want to be able to just turn the key, do your pre-trip, and get rolling. Yeah. Who knows how long this diesel's been in the tanks? I mean, all these things are going through my head. Next morning, I hit it like at 6 in the morning. As soon as the sun comes up, it's like 6:30. I go down there, get the batteries in it, get everything put together, get it to crank. Well, the guy that owned the drilling company that owned it previously, the one that gifted it, he calls and says, to check in, how's it going? I'm like, oh, it's going good. I'm about to throw these batteries in there. He's like, yeah, it only needs one. I'm like, buddy, I've been around trucks Ain't no 8-200 here. It needs just one battery. He's like, no, it's an old school truck. It just needs one battery. I'm like, all right, I'll take your. There's 4 of them in the shop. You know, so I'm like, I'll take your word for it. I hook one battery up to it. It cranks. Sure enough, it gets running, and it sounds pretty good. It's an old. I forgot what those old Cummins are. What they're called. There's a name for them, and it runs for like 10 seconds, and then I just hear, whoa, like it died. Like, what the fuck? Go turn the key, unresponsive on the key. That's weird. I get off the truck and I open the battery box back up, and it shot the terminals out of the battery, like they, like
Oh.
where you hook your cables up to, it's just gone. I have the pictures. I'll show you. So I'm like, well, I ain't doing that one battery shit again. So I have 3 more because that one's toast. So I hook the 3 batteries up to it, get the truck started. All right, cool. All right, let's see if this thing builds air. Builds air, release the brakes. I'm like, all right. Turns out there's a trailer I got to hook up to. So I'm looking at this truck that has no air ride. I mean, it's just old school as it gets, right? No jakes. I mean, this thing was a tank, but it wasn't a smooth one. And so I hook up to the trailer. It have lights. It has brakes. Let's roll.
Did it have the 2? The brake
No,
arrest?
no, it didn't. It was just I guess like one of the first versions of like an 18 speed, because it had the splitter and the range selector. It just looked a little different, and it was very specific. So I only know how to float. I don't know how to double clutch anymore. I completely forgot it. And it was very specific on when he wanted to go in and out of gear. So if you weren't on top of it, you weren't going into gear.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to float it. You weren't going to fight it in there either.
Find it, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of had to pull over if you didn't get it right. You had to pull over. And because I had to do that once or twice. I felt like such a rookie driving this thing. And so I get it rolling. I can't. It had a weird idle up where you turn this knob and it would lock the throttle. It had a weird idle deal. So I pulled off once to get McDonald's on the way, in like Cheyenne. I pulled off in Cheyenne, grabbed a burger real quick. It had no heat, no AC, just the seat didn't adjust, the steering wheel didn't adjust.
Hell no. You're riding up there like this.
Yeah. But I grew a whole new appreciation for them old school guys after driving that.
Man, yeah. No, it was definitely a different time. You know what I mean? The trucks, you had to be correct. You know what I mean? Because, God.
When I got to Denver, I sent a picture to my boss. I'm like, if this was your attempt at trying to kill me off, fucking you failed, motherfucker. I made it. And I got there, and there was a big rip in the tire, like it was about to blow on the steer tire. When I checked on my tire, I checked the brake, I did everything. I did my pre-trip. When I pulled into the farmers, when I found it, I was like, oh, this thing was fixing to blow. And,
dude, a steer tire is the worst, man.
Never had it happen. Luckily, I got pretty lucky trucking, man. I never took a big fall from a horse. Like, I never got kicked really bad. Or
That's good, yeah. I got lucky, like, in that sense, like loading. I never got down in the trailer. You know what I mean? Never got in a corner, nothing like that. Just the whatever shit that comes with it, but nothing major. But
I'm gonna turn these lights on real quick.
yeah.
You keep talking.
Oh, but dang it, I did it again.
Nah, you're good.
I did it again.
No, I got pretty lucky, man. When I did my last load, when I knew it was my last load, not that I was waiting for shit to go bad, but I was nervous. Like, man, I haven't had anything bad happen to me on the road so far. And when I pulled in, unloaded my horses, I'm like, dude, we made it somehow. I'm not saying I'll never drive a truck again, but
Oh, yeah, no, definitely, like, for fires and stuff like that, that scratches my itch. I get to go trucking, I get to do it, I'll always have my CDL. It's just something, like, you can always have a job, but man, dude, happy for you to not be in a truck, because that shit, it's fun. And that was a part of my life for a long time. I loved it. I still love it, but I'm glad to be home every night. I get to be home in my bed.
do you still rope or anything?
I don't even own a saddle.
Really?
No, I don't even own a saddle anymore, man. I would like to start roping again. I would love to rope again, but shit, kids keep me busy and everything else. Maybe one day, you know what I mean? Maybe one day I'll rope again. I'd like to.
When I tell people I hold horses for a living, the first question, oh, how many horses do you own? I'm like, buddy, better take care of myself.
Yeah. What? And to have another mouth to feed? Shit.
And
yeah.
I don't have health insurance. You want me to have vet bills?
Yeah, what? No,
outta here.
hell no. No, I would love to rope again, you know what I mean? But like I grew up rodeo and doing that shit, and my daughter, she did it a little bit, and she's kind of grown out of it, and I'm not gonna push my little boy to do it. Like if he wants to, you know, by all means, we can do it, and you know, that's not a problem. But I like the water. I like to be on the lake, hanging out, you know, doing that, go to the river, something like that. So if my kids want to be, they want to, you know, hang out on the lake.
It's funny. There's some people that just have it, right? Like, you know Stephen Pridgeon?
I do. Yeah, and Jeffrey. Yeah.
Yeah, a good buddy of mine. And I ran into him recently at Paco's wedding. And we're talking. I'm like, you still roping? He's like, hell no. But he's like, I ain't threw my leg over a horse in like 4 years. And he's like, but I showed up at a round robin because my brother said we needed guys or whatever. And he's like, and I won second and third. And he's like, do y'all need to retire? If I'm over here and haven't even been on a horse in 4 years and you know, beat some of y'all need to retire.
Yeah, no. Nah, I think I'm, you know, I wouldn't probably go in or roping or nothing right now, but I could probably jump on a horse and go catch some. You know what I mean? I still got it. It's like riding a bike. I'd be sore as hell the next day. My gosh.
I miss the vibes at like an old South Texas jackpot. Like just hanging out.
Shut up.
Dude, it's so much fun.
Oh, man. Those were the best. I grew up on them, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my grandma, you know, God rest her soul. She is a great lady. Man, that's like, if you know kind of anything about like South Texas, not even South Texas, but like team roping, like Texas team roping, like Booger Barter was a big name like in the 90s. And he kind of started off at like my grandma's place. And like we grew up, you know, having jackpots. We had an arena at the house and, you know, trailers. We had a concession stand, all that shit. So it was, South Texas jackpot. It doesn't get much better.
Or any jackpot, honestly, just the culture there.
Yeah. It's just like, man, beers, babes, sometimes. Mostly not. No,
what was his name again?
Yeah, usually the old bleacher creature. You have lots of beers, lots of steers. Yeah, run them back. Let's do it. Or a good old goat roping. My gosh, man. Bill Weekly. Shout out Bill Weekly, dude. The goat ropings in Rivera were a time. My gosh.
I never made it out to Rivera for those.
Man, you really missed out. That was, Bill had a good thing on Tuesday night.
You make a little bit of money.
It would pay out 100%. I think, you go on a Tuesday night, you win $300-400.
Yeah.
If you win, you know, you might hit a lick or two, might get first and second. You're walking out with a couple hundred for sure. I mean, Eddie Sanchez was probably paying a truck note with cash.
Really?
You know, 100% the vet.
Yeah.
He could rope his ass off. So like Bill was hitting a lick too, dude. Like, and it was all cash. That was the greatest thing.
So
it was so much fun.
When I was in high school, I hung out with me and Paco. We spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
We'd always run down the county road to Colt Weeks' place, and we'd rope goats at Colt's place, and that was always a lot of fun. I look forward to doing that and the shit talking, you know.
Oh yeah, my gosh.
Oh, you want to handle by a fucking broom?
Yeah.
It was just good time.
Just rope them. Yeah, no, the goat roping's a good old jackpot, dude. Yeah. It would be fun.
Did you do any other events? You just team rope?
No, I rode steers, like, you know, the juniors or whatever, and I loved rough stock. I love that side of the arena, but I was just too big of a puss, really.
Oh,
I always wanted to ride saddle bronc, but like, man, it's so hard. Like down where we're from, like nobody. You either
does it.
ride bulls or you rope steers. You know what I mean? There's just a ton of team ropers and some bull riders. So like, saddle bronc was never really an option. Like, I guess it could have been an option if I really wanted to, but like to practice or get any kind of good help.
You're
or
going
anything
way out of
like
your way.
Yeah. So. But I loved that side of the arena. I was just too big of a wuss, you know. And but no, I rode steers, and I'd been like, we would practice at the college in Kingsville,
Yeah.
and oh dang, what's his last name? I can't think of it. Mike Solomon. He had a couple bulls go to the PBR, and like I got on them as 2-year-olds.
Really?
And got my yeah. Those two bulls, Stetson Postis did too. So shout out Stetson. We both got our ass dumped, but we did get on some bulls that made it to the PBR. But no, I team rope, steer wrestle, rode a couple bareback horses. That wasn't for me. Yeah, team rope, steer wrestle, rope calves. Wasn't like great at any of them. You know what I mean? I was like middle of the road. Like I got better. I quit roping calves after high school and steer wrestling and like team roping. I got better as I got older. You know what I mean? Like there was just some kids that were really good in high school and I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? I could go out there and rope them and do, you know what I mean? I could compete, but not like at a super high level. I got better the older I got, but it was like never a dream of mine was to go rodeo or anything. I would love to rope again though and go to good old jackpot, dude. Yeah.
So, one of the funniest things that happened to me, or that would happen to me when I was out and about, usually at airports, people would see me in boots and a felt hat, beard, whatever. They're like, "Oh man, you ride bulls?" Fucking 300 pounds.
Yeah, I don't mean to laugh, but
Dude,
it's like
one of the funniest.
if you know anything,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I ain't got the body for a bull rider. More of a steer wrestler myself.
Yeah, I'm a real Luke Branquino over
Yeah.
here.
Dude,
it's one
especially
of the
with the beard, even
It's
the
one
stash.
of the funniest things that would happen to me. Like, you know, to hear that, how ridiculous.
Yeah,
knowing,
and knowing you're
Yeah.
like,
and I would tell them the same thing every time. Like, hey, I'll put my hand up. And no offense to any bull riders out there. Don't come for me, please. I'd be like, anybody taller than yay high and more than about $150, they're not a bull rider. They're lying.
yeah.
It was hilarious. And, yeah.
And it's like, you look at me, I'm a little tall, you know what I mean? Like, there's not very many tall bull riders.
And if they're tall, they're freaking
Yeah,
skinny.
like a dang post.
Yeah, there's not a heavyweight division.
Yeah, unless you're like, they have the senior pro rodeo, and they're probably not that big, but it's like, you might be too big and too old, sir, to be getting on a damn bull.
Well, it's not about being too big to get on the bull. It's you can't fit in the Capri camper going down the road, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Damn. Good old Capri camper, too, man.
Oh, yeah. So those Mexican Marlboros, you got to pop the balls on them.
Oh, yeah,
There's
right
two
there.
of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
This Mexican Marlboro, this watermelon.
Available in Mexico.
In Mexico only, yeah. So get your passport. Go get you some.
Have you ever walked across the border to go get some tacos and shit?
Man, last time I was in Mexico, I was I was 14. I was 15.
Oh, so you were doing your taxes.
Yeah, I was doing my taxes. Yep. I was 15. Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
I don't know.
Thanks for letting me go to Mexico with a couple 18-year-olds. Yeah, thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. She trusted them. I was in good hands. I made it back.
I don't know if you heard my joke the other night about the Jewish Mardi Gras. It hasn't landed anywhere, and I think it's so funny.
I remember hearing it, but I don't remember it.
Yeah,
but
it wouldn't. Well, you hear it once, you're not going to remember it, of course. No, I had a joke. I'm like, a lot of people celebrate Jewish Mardi Gras without realizing it. Like, make sure you got your 1099, your get your write-offs together. You know, it's tax time.
Hell yeah.
And it just doesn't. it doesn't. It's not smooth yet.
Yeah.
By the time I get that joke good, it's not going to be tax season.
Yeah.
So I got to wait for next
Next year.
year.
Yeah.
we'll get 'em
Next tax
year.
season. Yeah. Yeah. Next tax
For that
season.
one-
Yeah. I'm working on mine right now. Boy, a couple years behind. So.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So this Biden administration, I got.
These Mexico cigarettes are hitters, boy. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't think they use I don't think they take anything. They're pretty stout.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I got a bill in the mail like in 2023 or 2020. Yeah, 2023, December 2023.
And I say that you are so good at dates and towns and highways. I mean, I've been to 44 states, brother, and I have to call my best friend. He's my fucking Rand McNally, bro. I call Aaron and I'm like, hey, this is where I'm loading. This is where I'm heading. What do I need to go around? Like, what is going to be an obstacle for me? Because he has been everywhere. He's like you. He just fucking knows. He remembers everything, like, especially roads. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, I could figure it out. I'm not dumb. I have all the apps and everything to
I
get
think
around
it's like
the scales
I
and
have
stuff.
I have
But-
a low level of autism that enables me to remember like
Dude,
certain
that's-
highways and
That's
stuff.
great. I wish I had that because, dude, I wouldn't say it would be my handle, you know what I mean? But drive by or turn around, you know what I mean? Because I'm a smooth ass miss in exit, brother. And I'm gonna have to drive by and turn around because I'll see y'all in a minute.
Dude,
I'll see y'all in a minute.
I had that my last trip I ever did. I went to Florida and back, and on my way to Florida, the truck I was in for 3 years never had a fuel gauge. The fuel gauge was broken from like it was an 07 truck, no 2011 truck,
Was it the Kenworth?
the T660.
Yeah.
And the fuel gauge just never worked. I drove it when the last guy owned it. I drove it for him, and it still didn't have a fuel gauge. So
You just got to go by mileage.
So that's what I would do. I'd
Yeah.
reset my mileage. So I'm going down the road, and I look, and that truck could probably get 1,200 comfortably.
Yeah.
And so I'm at like 11 and some change, and I can only put fuel at TAs or Petros.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, we had a pretty hefty fuel discount.
Oh,
But-
nice.
But the catch was TAs or Petros, and then you can get mom and pop Exxons as well. So it was a weird deal. You couldn't just pull in and grab fuel anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm running down 10, and I just passed Grand Bay, Alabama. It was like exit 4. There's a TA there, and there's not another TA for like 300 miles, 200 miles. It's something ridiculous. Exit 140 in Florida, Marianna, Florida. So I passed it up. I was jamming out, whatever I was doing. I was in the zone, and I look up and I'm like, exit 14. I'm like, oh, I'm 10 miles past my exit. Fuck. So I'm like, well, I'm right at like 1,200, 1,100 miles. Do I shoot for another 200 or 300, or do I
Yeah.
turn around and kill like an hour? And I turned around. I was like, I'd rather kill an extra 20, 30 minutes
100% than run out of diesel.
than run out of diesel.
Dude.
I've had it happen one time.
Shit, lucky you, dude.
Yeah, I ran out of diesel one time, and I saved my own ass somehow. I was running. I did Kentucky and back, or I'm sorry, Kentucky to Weatherford and back, and on my way back to Kentucky, it was right after some shit happened, and my mind wasn't right for the road, and so on my way back, I'm just vibing, just in my mind. I don't have music on. I'm just vibing.
Yeah,
in my
that
own
happens
mind.
a lot out there, too.
Yeah, and I look down and I have my fuel gauge. I have a fuel gauge on this truck. My fuel gauge is all the way on the floor, and my mileage is like up there. I'm like, oh, I'm about to run out any minute. Yeah, any minute. So I look up and I know I'm in Arkansas, and I know for a fact there's a pilot that I can fuel at, but it's like 9 miles. So I'm like sweating, and I start hearing like it's about to give out. Yeah,
That's when you got to popping that wheel, moving that fuel around.
yeah. So I look up and there's an Exxon. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. The company I'm with, we got to put fuel at Pilots or Flying J's. We're putting fuel at Exxon today, boys. And I pull in that Exxon. And when I let off the exit, or I'm sorry, yeah, I coast into the exit. I take a left at the stop sign. When I give it some throttle, like it's trying to die on me. I'm like, fuck. So I get up to speed because I'm like, hey, I'm going to coast as far as I can.
Yeah.
So I get up to speed and I start coasting and I pull in the fuel island and that's when it shut off on me. It's like when I'm pulling in the fuel island is when it died. So I'm still in neutral, right? I'm not in gear and I have air brakes. And so it dies on me, but in the fuel island. So I'm like, that's the smoothest that could have gone. And I had a pony. You had an APU in your trucks?
No.
I had a pony motor APU.
Nice.
So if you can get that thing going, you can get the truck going. It's a weird deal. And so I put diesel in the truck. I top it off, and the truck won't start. And I'm fucking too much of a rush where I'm not stopping to think like, hey, let me crack my fuel filter open to let that air out. So the battery dies because I'm trying to start my truck. So I crack the fuel. I finally click and I crack the fuel filter open, and I hear the psh, and so I let the air out, turn it back on, and then so I'm out of battery, but I have enough battery to turn the APU on. So I get my pony motor started for a little bit. Well, I had a guy in the bunk this whole time. So he wakes up. He's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, buddy, we're out of gas. We're out of battery. Yeah, we're out of diesel. We're out of battery. Shit's just going south. I said, but I think I got it. He's like, do you got it? I was like, I think I got it. I'll wake you up. And so he's like, I'm going to try to go back to sleep. And the truck smells like diesel because I've been, fucking around. So anyways, I got the truck started and got back on the road like nothing ever happened. The next morning, I go into the shop. After I unload the horse, I go into the shop. And I'm like, hey, this thing needs new fuel filters. And he's like, why? I was like, because there's a fucking pipe wrench. I probably almost ripped it open with a pipe wrench last night. So what the fuck happened? I was like, don't worry about it. Just give me
a damn fuel filter. We don't give me a fuel filter, it's a damn fluid. Come on.
Yeah. What you got? You write down something good?
Oh no, I remembered what I was saying when you were saying about being cold. Oh, my little boy, you were talking about being cold in that truck, that old truck. Dude. Shout out Layton, man. This little shit. We, like one of the last times I hauled cows, dropped the trailer, loaded some King Ranch cows. I'd done been hooked the trailer up here in New Braunfels, right outside of New Braunfels. And it wasn't hooked up right. And we did everything we could. My boss said, fuck it, roll with it.
Yeah.
Me and Aaron go down to Kingsville, stay at my mom's. We go down to dang it, can't even remember where we were at. We were past the checkpoint, so at that division of the King Ranch. I should know, but I don't. Get loaded, come out, cross railroad tracks, and
Talking about Nodias?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dump the trailer in the middle of 77 northbound, brother. We get it hooked up, whatever. Get the cattle unloaded onto another trailer. But the truck I was driving didn't have a fucking heater. We run into a cold front going to Kansas. I have my little boy with me, dude.
Oh, man.
He is just doing all, and he won't get in the truck with my brother because he's like, I'm not leaving you, Dad. He's like, we're trucking. I'm staying with Dad. He won't get in the truck with Aaron. He's freezing. Luckily, I had one of them S-bar heaters, so you could heat the truck up with that heater. And dude, this poor little shit, he made him a pallet in the sleeper. He wasn't even getting in the bed. He made him a pallet on the sleeper because that S-bar heater heated from the floor.
Yeah.
And he just got down there. He made him a little ball. He made it to Kansas when we unloaded. I said, "You all right, buddy?" He said, "Yeah, it's a little cold in here though, Dad." Fuck. And then he'll know it when he gets older how good of a burn it was. But after we dumped that trailer, had another guy bring us another one. We're hooked up. He's sitting up there, and he'll still say it like if we're in a truck. But he looked back there, he goes, "Dad." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Trailer's still on." I go, "Thank you. Thank you for that." He just looks at that mirror. He goes, "Trailer's still on."
Just let you know.
I appreciate it.
What happened?
Shit.
How did you...
How did it come off?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't hook up to the kingpin. It would never wrap around, but we backed into trailers. we did everything we could to make it like hook up. And if you hooked up to an older truck with a slapped out kingpin, like fifth wheel,
Yeah.
it'd hook up just fine. I was just in a little newer truck. The fucking fifth wheel was still pretty tight, and it just wouldn't go all the way around. But dude, we left here, and I mean, we rode these bitches down I-10 to the house, like, and then 37 or down 37 to the house, like we were riding. And we rode 17 miles into Norris, got loaded, rode 17 miles out, luckily crossed the railroad tracks, and we were sitting at the crossover. Aaron was the first truck. LB was the first truck. Aaron was second. I was third. They're all getting on the highway. Now I'm lying. Aaron was first. LB was second. I'm pulling out to get on fucking 77 North. Dude, my trailer's still like halfway bent, and I hear a commotion going on. I look back there, dude, just no more trailer. And I get on the CB, I go, what the fuck, Ricky? Aaron goes, what happened? I said, my trailer's in the middle of the fucking highway.
Oh, man.
Luckily there was a chute. When you pulled back into the ranch, there was a chute right off the road. So, like, Aaron whipped in, backed up to the chute, got unloaded, backed up to me. Like, no big deal. We got the cattle off. No cattle were hurt. Like, we got him unloaded, got him reloaded with my cattle because we all loaded the same amount. And we were both in spread axles. So, like, we loaded everything how it needed to be. And, yeah, I was a little behind. They brought me my uncle. He had a guy that had a trailer. They brought me another trailer. We fucking hooked it up. He hooked up the one that fell off and fixed some airlines and got back on the road. And then we get to Love's in Kingsville to get diesel. And I go in to pay for fuel, and one of these guys, he's like, man, did y'all hear about that truck? Did y'all hear about that cow pot that lost his load in the middle of the road? And I go, yeah, that was me. He goes, no shit. He said, we stuck down there for 2 hours. I had whole 77 shut down, brother.
You were real important in that.
Oh, dude. Had my little boy on the side of the road. DOT was there.
Oh.
You know, no logbook. It was a mess. I was like, oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. It was a bad day.
Sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Oh man. Yeah. It was, we got through it though, you know. We got through it. Got to go through it to get to it.
Dude, I remember one time we're running up to, what was the name of this town? It was like a girl's name in Ohio, the name of the town. I'm sorry. It was Medina, Ohio. I was going to pick up a load of, I think they were standard breds or some kind of, Morgan horses, which I don't care for. I don't know if you ever been around them.
Mm-mm.
I don't care for them, me personally, but they pay their bills. I need to pay my bills. Let's make some money. So I went up there to pick up a load of horses, a load of Morgans in Medina, Ohio. And on the way up, it started pouring down rain real bad. And people don't know how to drive when it gets wet for some reason. And this car just kind of spins out in the middle of the highway. In the side of the road, it was cut into like a rock deal. It sounds stupid to say. But the road was cut through like boulder.
Yeah.
So the side of the road is just rock. So they spin off on the median, hit the rock, and they start rolling backwards back in the lanes. And I'm passing through, and there was a black Dodge 1500 in front of me. He locks up his brakes. I'm like, bro, go. What are you doing? Like, let's go. So I start honking, like, get out of the way. So he keeps going. But I had to slow down. And as I slowed down, the car started rolling into the trailer. And I didn't see it. I'm looking in my mirror. I didn't make any contact to the naked eye. Whatever. And like, there's no shoulder to pull on, so I can't even pull over and check on these people. That's the last thing I need, or I feel like they would want, is a big horse trailer on the side of the road to check on them. There's like other people are gonna stop, I promise. Yeah. And it's not a life-threatening injury.
Yeah.
Your car is fucked, but it's not. Nobody died.
Yeah.
So I keep rolling. So I get like 2 or 3 hours down the road, and I stop off for diesel before we load the horses, and we're bedding down the trailer. So I go to the other side of the trailer, the passenger side, to get shavings out of the box. And there's chunks of this Suburban in like different parts of my trailer has like pieces of this car, like tail light and shit. I'm like, oh fuck, we did hit him. And well,
It happens.
Yeah.
Dude, I assholed a car right outside of Lubbock, dude.
I think he sent me a Snapchat.
Dude, I just saw some pictures and videos and shit. It was in Lubbock too. What did it say? It was like just another spring day in Lubbock when this kind of front blew in, and it was just a dust storm. Same thing kind of happened. Just got through Lubbock. I was headed. Where was I headed? Up to right outside of Hereford to a plant. I was going, and I had to go back to Eagle Pass that night to load some cattle off the border. And I'm going through Lubbock. I call my brother. I'm like, hey, wind's getting bad, like bad. I said, I'm not driving back in this empty. Like, it's cool. I'm loaded. I'm weighed down. He's like, you'll be fine. Just take it easy. You are loading tomorrow. So whatever you do, get there. I'm like, okay. Going through Lubbock. And it was the craziest shit I'd ever drove in. It was like, you could tell it was daylight. You knew it was daylight outside, but it was completely, you couldn't see anything. And it would come in waves. It would just be fucking sand. And then you could see a little bit. And like, I had my flashers on. I was going like 35, 40 in the right lane. And you couldn't see anything. And then it let up. Cool, I'm in my lane. Everyone's cruising. It did it again, and then when it let up, there was a fucking SUV right in the right lane. No hazards on, no nothing. And I just yanked the wheel, closed my eyes, and as I hit this thing, I just see the bottom. I just see the undercarriage of this car, and then it goes like that. I'm like, fuck. I get back over to the right lane, finally get onto the shoulder. And by the time I get stopped, you can't even see this car. The wind and the sand is so bad. I'm like, holy shit. So I call my brother. I'm like, this just happened. What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me? He's like, get your logbook right. Get your shit right. Then go check on them. Don't call the cops yet. Like, go check on them. Because they were upside down. I couldn't, like. So I get back there. I walk back there. Walk through the sand. I see them. They're not dead. Cool. I would have totally drove off if they wouldn't have pushed my bumper into my damn steer tire. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Because, it was not ideal. It was not ideal. Luckily, nothing came of it. They tried to sue me, like, me and the company. Like, the next day, they had paperwork at the office to sue us, and nothing came of it because they didn't. It was a fucked case. They were in the middle
of the road.
You're in the middle of the road, no hazards. Like, and when insurance went to go look at the car, like, magically the car just disappeared. Like, it was an older Mexican couple. You know what I mean? They didn't speak English. So it was
Called
like
an accident.
Yeah, like we're, you know.
Dude, so one time I drove out to the NFR because I would fly so much that I got tired of flying.
Oh, dude, they flew you out all the time.
So one year, I think it was like 2017, 2018, I go out to the NFR. Me and my buddy Troy Herron from, I think it's from Belleville. Anyways, we hop in my truck and we fucking skedaddle. Well, I did my calculations wrong. Because in my head, I'm like, we can't check into the hotel till 3 p.m. So if we leave at lunchtime from San Antonio or New Braunfels, we leave at lunch, we'll get there like 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Well, on the way there, my buddy gave me an Adderall instead of like a Tylenol or something. And I was in the zone. I was just flying. I think I was going like
cruising.
Dude, like 110, 100, down freaking I-10 to, I think I did 10 all the way to Phoenix and then like 17 north.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. And when you get on 17, there ain't shit in between Phoenix and 17 and wherever the next town is, you know, because there ain't a damn thing out there.
Besides
boy.
like Wickenburg and stuff, but it's about
that's the next town you get to is Wickenburg. Yeah, there ain't shit there.
So, anyways, we get there like 3 in the morning. So the party's still going, and we were able to find a place to crash, whatever. So, anyways, we go to Vegas, have a good time at the NFR, and then on the drive home is what sucked. The drive out there was not that bad.
Awesome.
Yeah, the drive home when you're just hungover, full of regret.
Yeah.
You know, your self-respect is out the
Oh,
window.
yeah, just done. Who am I?
Dude, I get out of town, and the first thing I see, there's like a Nissan Altima on the shoulder, and there's a body hanging out of like the driver's seat. And the cops, I know they're dead because the cops are taking pictures and stuff. They're not checking for pulses and giving CPR.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that guy was dead. And I'm like, what? It's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, what the hell am I looking at right now? So I get down the road a little bit further, and I'm out of it. I'm like, dude, I got to stop and I pull over on the shoulder and take a nap. My buddy's dead in the front seat. He hadn't been awake for a while. So I'm like, well, I'm going to take a nap real quick. I'm out of it. Take a little 20, 30-minute nap. I get back on the road, and there's this big roundabout just comes out of nowhere, and the speed limit's like 60. And then the roundabout, I don't know, it's a big one. You don't have to slow down to 15, but it's you know, still a roundabout.
It's not a 60 mile an hour roundabout.
No. But the speed limit coming up to it is like 60. So I'm doing about 60, and I'm slowing down. Well, this car is in front of me a pretty good bit. He locks it up at the roundabout. There's no cars. There's nobody else. I'm not expecting him to stop. So I I'm in my I had a Ram 2500, and I just run into him. I don't have a brush cut or nothing, just metal bumper. And I run in the back of him. I put his trunk into his back seat. I mean, I hit him pretty good. It's like an old Lincoln Town car or something. So, anyways, I follow him into town, and we stop at the first gas station. He gets off, I get off, and I'm like, I'm at fault, 100%. No matter what I say, I'm at fault. I know that. So I don't say, hey, man, I'm sorry. The first question is, hey, you all right? You know, yeah, man, I'm good. And he looks at my truck, and he looks at his car, and he's like, hey, bro. And I'm pretty sure this dude was like a wanted felon, escape freaking inmate or something, because he's like, hey, bro, if you're good, I'm good. I'm like, see you later, buddy.
Hey,
yeah, I'm out of here.
Got to go.
Yeah. And, dude, I skedaddled quick.
Didn't even happen.
Yeah. I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah,
I made the whole
didn't
story
even
up.
happen.
And I'll never forget that. I was like, dude, this trip needs to end. I got back to my apartment in Kingsville, and I slept for like 2 days.
100%.
Well, there's no way you can just drink and do Adderall every day for like 4 or 5 days and then just recover the next. Like,
no.
That's not one night to sleep to get over that. You know?
No, it is not, boy. It takes a couple days.
You ever go out to Vegas for the NFR?
Man, yeah, went a couple years ago. When was it? 2022? 2022, yeah.
Is that the first year back from Texas? Or was that 21?
21.
So, okay, got you.
Yeah, we went out. I had to haul some pumps and some stuff out to Vegas for a buddy. There's a company out of Vegas that he was working for, and I hauled some pumps and shit out there for them. We were going to fly back. It just so happens, it was like the 8th. It was almost the end of the NFR. It was like 7th or 8th round night.
Yeah.
We get in late. It was probably 3 or 4 to Vegas. Get to the hotel. Sleep. I tried to sleep for a couple hours. Get up, do the Vegas deal, and like, you know, I grew up rodeoing, and like Vegas that's where everyone is from Texas, you know what I mean? So we go out that night, and everyone I grew up rodeoing with is there. So it's like a fucking reunion. We're gambling, doing the whole deal, dude. My gosh. We had a Spirit flight out of Vegas at like, 4:30? And we're on the strip doing the thing. We get back to our hotel. We have like an hour to get checked out, get our shit packed. We didn't have much, but we had to do everything. Cool. Uber back. Going back to the room, I'm like, fuck. I have no phone. No phone. What? I'm like, babe, what? She is the handler in the relationship. She's going to handle the situation. She's like, all right, I got this. You go to the room, start packing your shit. And because I am on a major come down, I am doing everything I can to keep my eyes open. She's like, all right, I'm going to get the phone. She calls the Uber driver. She's like, come back to the room. My phone's in there. He's like, that's fine, but you're going to pay me. She's like, I don't give a shit. Come back to the hotel. I need to get this phone. She gets the phone back miraculously. How fucking in Vegas with an Uber, she gets the phone back. I don't know. I'm upstairs. She's coming up to the room, going through the casino. You know, they have like that one step coming out of the casino. She's just trucking it to the room, misses it. Just eats a shoulder into tile. She comes up to the room. We're packing bags. We get on the plane. She's like, man, my shoulder hurts. I think it's out of socket or something. We get to Texas. It's like, all right, she has we meet her friend at the airport. He's flying in to see us from California. So we just like an hour later maybe. So we just stay at the airport. I am, dude, out at baggage claim, just passed out. He gets there. We get home. Like 2 days go by. She goes to a Christmas party. They're trying to readjust this shoulder. She's like, I have to go to the emergency room. We go. They're like, well, emergency room's a little late. So she goes to, I guess, an actual doctor. He's like, good news, your shoulder's broke.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck? Good thing for trying to pop it back into place. Yeah, I don't know where I was really going with that, but that's my Vegas story. Yeah, that's my NFR story. Last time I was there, I was like 12 or 13, and I won a damn electric scooter. We were at, what was it, Circus or something? You had to knock the bowling pins down. Knocked it down, and we trashed a scooter our last night there at Vegas. Yeah, like 12 or 13 years old.
Wait, so you won a scooter and then it never made it home?
Never made it home. Hell no. It was never getting, my mom was not letting it get back on the plane. So it was like me, my brother, and Wes Ricks. We were all out there, and dude, we trashed this scooter in the hallways of Circus. Yeah. What a night. Those are the 2 times I've been in Vegas. I've trucked through Vegas, and what a cool place. Like, super cool to fly into and super cool to drive into, like, at night. Just coming off the hill into Vegas. Like, what? Super cool.
Yeah, I've passed through a bunch of times, and I've hauled a lot of horses out to the South Point in a big rig. And
sweet.
Not sweet, no. Cool to say you did it. To do it, not
You're
fun.
The only other person that I know of, and maybe you did it because you had to be down there, but Aaron, me, and another guy, Thumper, we didn't get escorted, but we did get pulled over on the strip.
Oh, really?
And 3 cow pots. It was right during COVID. It was right after my birthday. This was in the middle of COVID. It was May 11th. I know that because that was like my birthday deal. We're going through Vegas to California. It's COVID. Let's go on the strip.
Yeah.
And we got pulled over, and they're like,
just
what
for
are
being
y'all?
There?
Yeah, they're like, what the hell are y'all doing down here? We're like, it's COVID. No one's here. They're like, y'all can't be down here.
Not with that attitude.
No, they're like, y'all have to go. So we do have some pictures in front of Treasure Island. 3 cow pots just landed on the strip. Hazards on, just 3 dudes out in the median just taking pictures of their cow pots.
Dude, I don't know. I probably would have OJ'd that moment and just kept cruising.
Oh,
buddy,
dude.
I'll catch you on the other side.
Yeah, I catch you on the flip. Yeah.
Oh, man. That's freaking cool. Now, I wish I would have been better with taking pictures. Looking back at it, so many things I did. I'm like, I don't have any pictures for any of these. But part of me almost is glad because now I can just tell you and you can picture it yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And I was, man, I have some really, which is cool because, like, I can show my kids and shit. There's some shit I can't show them. But, man, I took a lot of pictures trucking. I have a lot of cool pictures. Probably one of my favorite, like, videos or anything trucking. We're coming out of Florida. I was like in between jobs again at the time, but my brother let me hop in his truck. I took the family, had my little boy and my ex at the time, my ex-fiance at the time, or my fiance at the time, and ex now, whatever. And we're coming across 10. We just get on 10 out of Florida. Right before we get to Mobile, my little boy is in the passenger seat and we're fixing to pass my brother's driver, his other guy. My little boy's in the front seat and Garth has got his phone just in the window and my little boy's just in the front seat just looking at him go by, you know what I mean? And he has it on TikTok and it says little man chasing dreams or something, you know what I mean? Super cool. That's probably like my favorite trucking video because he's just up in the window just like, fuck yeah, trucking with dad.
There's a sound bite from my first Kill Tony. I don't remember what I said. I was like hauling horses, slanging dick and dodging babies, I think.
Amen.
And some cow hauler like put that voiceover deal on a video. I'm like, that's
nice. Cool. That's awesome.
Or let me take that back. I have a TikTok. Have I been on it? No, I posted on it. I don't get on it. So when people send me shit, I don't even open it. I'm like,
yeah.
I got to open this app. I don't know. I know it seems stupid.
Oh, no, it doesn't, dude. I had TikTok. I mean, I still have TikTok, but like I deleted it.
Yeah.
I have Facebook, but like it's not on my phone because I can't stand, like I'm a big proponent of not being on your phone.
I'm pretty bad. I'm better now that I'm not trucking anymore. Because when I was on the road, that's the only way I had.
Yeah. Like it was so weird, especially like I'm glad you said like during COVID, everybody's tripping about being isolated. It's like what? The only human interaction I have once a day or twice a day is with the fucking lady at the fuel island.
Yeah.
What? And the guy I'm loading cattle for.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm isolated all day. So everyone's tripping about being isolated, which I get. If you're not used to being by yourself, it's like that's a big game changer. But it's like, yo, isolation is another day for a truck driver.
So I don't know if you've ever had. I'm pretty sure you have had this experience where, let's say you're coming in or you're on a run somewhere, Florida to Kansas or something. And then you got a buddy that's doing like a California to Missouri, some kind of weird run, and you know they are both heading in opposite directions.
Bud meat.
Well, yeah, it's like even if you're just like you don't even stop off, but just see them on the highway.
That is a morale booster.
And it happened with one of my good buddies that passed, like right before he died. I was running down 20. I was coming in from Florida, going back to Argyle, Texas, and he was headed east, and I was headed west. He texted me. He's like, "Is that you on? Are you at the fucking whatever mile marker?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And we texted for a little bit, and I was jamming like Taylor Swift or something. And I was like, "Buddy, I thought you were gonna text me saying I'm busted because I was jamming Taylor Swift, and you're gonna tell me like, hell, I heard you or whatever." And we texted for a little bit, and then like a couple days later, he died.
Damn.
And I don't know. It's just one of those weird feelings where like you're on this journey and I'm on this journey and we just cross paths. And
yeah.
Like, I know that you just came from fucking 1,000 miles away. And so did I.
And I might not see you for another, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was, Yeah, that was especially, I can't say for everybody, but like the boys,
Yeah.
like when we were trucking, like the boys, if I knew I was going to be, dude, I mean, 30-minute vicinity, you know, even a detour, like, or crossing paths, you know what I mean? Like if we're crossing paths, I'm gonna wait 30 minutes at this truck stop till you get here. Like I'm gonna burn an hour to have a bud meet, you know what I mean? Because like that's, or an arm pump from a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that shit, like I'll talk about that, like that's the truth. Like a kid gives you a good arm pump, I'm talking about that shit. I'm calling home being like, you are not gonna believe what happened today. You know, it's like same with like seeing your buddies on the road, because it's like, yo, I might not see you for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, I might talk to you every day, but I am not going to see you for another 6 months, maybe a year.
It's funny how small of a world it is. One time, I think we're out in the middle of nowhere in Kansas. This is like El Dorado, Kansas.
Yeah.
Like middle of nowhere. And there's lights. I'm like, what the fuck is that over there? And it was another one of our Brookledge trucks.
No shit.
Like, what are you doing out here? I'm like, hey, are you hauling for this? And they're like, no. So I'm like, so we're hauling two different people, and we're on the same county road in the middle of nowhere in Kansas.
Yeah,
is that what you're telling me right now?
What? And it's the same company.
Same company.
What? Yeah, that's nuts.
Like you never know what, you know. It's such a small world.
Yeah, like, dude, my best friend. I talked to him. I don't even know every day for how long, and I had never met this man until I flew out to help them, and he picked me up at the Ontario Petro in Ontario, California, because it was so close. It's so close to the Ontario airport.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll fly into Ontario, because he was unloading like super close somewhere. And he's like, if you can fly in, go to the truck stop, I'll scoop you up there. So like, we were homies, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I had never met this man, and I'm fixing to hop in a big truck with him, and we're fixing to, you know, do a load from, you know, not Southern California, but like Central California to fucking Seattle, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like,
that's a
been
long
boys
trip.
Ever since. Yeah. And it's cool.
How did y'all link up? You're talking about Wingert, right?
Yeah. Man, he was driving. I met a guy. We loaded an Eagle Pass and did a run together. And he was like the same age. You like in South Texas, or Texas really in general, you don't see many young guys trucking. Yeah. Like you get up to the Midwest and shit, like Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, Missouri. Like there's a bunch of 24, 25, 26-year-old guys fucking trucking. Aaron was like, I don't know, probably 32 when I met him, 31, you know what I mean? And that's fairly young even for down here for a trucker, especially a cow hauler. Like all the guys down here are fucking older men, you know what I mean? You don't have no 30, 25-year-old cow truck, you know what I mean? I was super young when I started. Like I was like 23, so I was the baby of like cow haulers down here, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, all the old guys like took me under their wing, and I respected like their generation, you know what I mean? Starch pants, look good when you step out of a truck, like whatever, you know. But we met through him because they drove for the same guy. Late night phone calls, you know what I mean? 3-way fucking phone calls. Yeah. FaceTimes, whatever. So that's how like I got introduced to him. And then first time I had ever met him, he picked me up from the airport, and like we got in the truck, put some music on, just like vibed out, you know what I mean? That's my best friend, you know what I mean? We've been fucking homies ever since. But that's how we met, you know, and like it's weird because I talk to him every day, especially when we're in trucking. I was pretty fortunate. Like him and I pulled for the same guy for a little while, but even when I was like hauling for my brother, like we were lucky. Like I got to haul with him quite a bit. Like him and I did a bunch of Florida to Texas, a bunch of California to Colorado, like probably as much as like him and my dad. Like him and my dad, because I trucked with my dad a ton, even when I wasn't in the same truck as my dad. Like him and I trucked probably more than anybody else. And Garth, one of my brother's other drivers. But yeah, that's how we met, and just yeah.
So I know that TA and Petro right there in Ontario pretty good. I've swapped horses there. That was one of our spots where we would swap horses. Because if you can get a truck to come into California, hand off horses to a local California truck, and get the fuck out of California, that was pretty ideal.
Yeah.
Fuck California. The whole West Coast, as far as trucking goes.
Really?
It's
a bitch.
Well, 55 miles an hour.
And so California is a big bitch.
So you know you're doing 65, so it's a guaranteed ticket just being in the state. Because I'm not doing 55.
I am not doing 55.
And so the last time I swapped horses out there at the TA in Ontario, we would go truck to truck. If we swapped horses over, you go ramp to ramp, truck. We call it truck to truck. So I park and I put my ramp down, waiting for a truck to pull up. And there's so much room. I mean, there's so much room. Security shows up. Top flight security of the world, Craig. He shows up. Hey, man, you got to get out of here. You're blocking traffic. I was like, buddy, what traffic? I said, there's 6 lanes wide. You know, you put 6 trucks across, drive through here. I ain't blocking nothing. He said, well, you got to get out of here. As soon as he pulls up, I was like, yeah, we're leaving right now. We're leaving. Whatever. Almost immediately after he leaves, our truck pulls up. We go truck to truck. He pulls up again. He walks up between the trailers. He's yelling at us, y'all need to get out of here. I was like, yeah. Well, my buddy, or one of my buddies I run with, he's just a weirdo. This dude's just strange cat. Love him to death. He puts his hands up. He's like, I'm unarmed. Do not shoot me. He starts like saying this weird shit to this guy, to this kid. I'm like, what the fuck? But we're swapping horses over, and the guy's like confused. Like, I'm not going to shoot you. I'm just asking to move the truck. He's like, sir, I'm unarmed. Do not shoot me. You know, he's telling him this shit over and over. Just keeps repeating himself. So then the guy's like, y'all just need to leave. And we had already swapped the horses.
Got your horses swapped. Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gone.
Yeah, so we're like, oh, yeah, we'll leave. And we just put a ramps up and got out of there. But that was the last time I'd been there.
That's funny.
But yeah, I know that place real well.
That's wild.
Ontario and, God, what's that town in the middle of nowhere? Just outside of Ontario. Well, not just outside. God. It's in the Too Fast, Too Furious. That's where the guy lives. Barstow, homie.
Yeah, Barstow.
Dude, I used to swap horses in Barstow all the time.
I got some stories from Barstow, brother. Go to the truck wash and don't get your truck
Triple
washed.
Sister, which one's that one called?
Little Sister.
Little Sister
yeah,
truck wash.
nah, this wasn't Little Sisters. You kind of on the other end of town, but you'd go to the truck wash and wouldn't get your truck washed. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Dude.
Can I take a piss?
Yeah, go for it. He took a little piss break real
Interlude, quick. Yeah.
So you're talking about you met up with your buddy. You say you never met him before. You hopped in, flew out of state, hopped in a truck with him immediately. And that's just so cool. Like how nowadays you have a cell phone, you have different ways to communicate. I hear not horror story. I call them a horror story. Back in the day, they just call them stories of truckers. Like you have a blow a steer tire in the middle of nowhere. What do you do? Get on the CB. Hey, buddy, I'm at the whatever. Yeah. Call for help. When you get to the next truck stop, call for help.
Yeah.
You're relying on other people, strangers that you're never even going to meet.
And that's like...
And these people are going to have your back.
Yeah. And that's what trucking was then.
It's just not the culture anymore, And even, there might be good people out there, but a lot of them don't even know how to help you. You know? Like I was at the the Petro in... North Carolina, Kenly, North Carolina. And I had a dead battery. I went to sleep. I turned my truck off to go to bed. I had some bad batteries. But literally my truck stayed on for like a week at this point. So I didn't know my batteries had gone bad between starting and stopping. And we had like a night where I had no horses on. And I was by myself. So I pulled over, actually slept in a truck that was sitting still. So I turned the truck off because it was nice and cool out. Well, it got cold on me like 3 a.m. So I go to crank the truck up, I have no battery. Pony motor won't start, I got no battery. I'm like, if the pony motor won't start, we're dead. It's done. So I have jumper cables out. My jumper cables are already hooked up. and they're out to the front of the truck, and literally all somebody has to do is drive by, hook up real quick, give me a jump, and go. Nobody wants to. They're like, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, I'll do it for you. Just let me use your truck.
Yeah.
Just pull it up right here. I'm gonna hook it. And they're like, no. I mean, I probably got turned down about 20 times by 20 different drivers for a jump start, bro. That's one of the easiest things you can do for another person.
Yeah.
Is give them a jump start and find an old school Mexican dude, old school reefer guy. He's like, yeah, a lot of these guys, they won't jump start you just because they think it's gonna mess their truck up. I'm like,
what?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
What?
And but to hear those stories from back in the day, like, yeah, I had a blowout, and you just get on the CB and say, hey, send a mechanic my way when you get a chance, and
Yeah.
you're just hoping that somebody's gonna help you,
Yeah.
and they would.
Yeah, that's what my dad said. Like, he, his first trip to California by himself was at 17. And he said you would...
That's fucking crazy.
Fucking crazy. You'd call your broker, and, he was loading produce out of the fields and shit. Like, call your broker, turn down this road, go there, this far, hang a right, you'll run into the field. It's like, well, you couldn't do that nowadays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and granted, there was, the roads were, there wasn't as many, but still, like, what? Go to LA and fucking 10 miles out of town, hang a left on County Road 10. And it's like, fuck.
They said back in the day, a lot of payphones. You pull over, call for directions. Hey, how do I get there? Like,
the payphones.
Get to the general area,
Yeah.
L.A. or wherever, Phoenix. Get to the general area, hop on a payphone somewhere.
Call your broker, be like, yeah. I remember going to the Petro as a kid, and like the booths still having payphones, like not payphones, but like the booths still having phones.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Called
There's
a Fuel Island?
Huh?
You talking about the Fuel Island?
No, in the restaurant, like at the Iron
shit.
Skillet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're not.
No, I
I don't
don't
even know if
remember that
there's
at all.
any Iron Skillets anymore. They're
you can call
Black Bear Diners, which is a West Coast deal, is coming out here. But no, like at the Iron Skillets at the Petro.
I heard about that. I've never seen one, but I heard.
Yeah. Because when we would come to San Antonio as a kid, like rodeoing or anything, like my dad, we'd go to the Petro, get the trailer wash, citrus shine, whatever, and then we'd eat at the fucking Iron Skillet, and always the phone at the booths. You had to sit at the booth,
Yeah.
but you were getting a phone at the booth, yeah. And there's a couple I've been to. Actually, I say a couple that I've been to one, and it's in Del Rio. It's in Eagle Pass, really, a feedlot. I can't think of the name, but in the office, they still have a payphone outside the office, so you could call your broker and shit and be like, "Hey, yo, I'm here fixing a load. Where you need me to go?"
At that point, it's probably more money to rip it out than
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Dude, I remember I used to payphone when I was a kid. I remember using them when I was a kid. I explained to people, like, I grew up in South Texas. South Texas is probably about 10 at the time, before things are the way they are now. It was probably about 5 to 10 years behind everybody.
For
So
sure.
I grew up in the 90s, 2000s, but it was kind of like early 90s, late 90s, in the 2000s.
Yeah.
If that made any sense. Like, nobody had cell phones. Nobody could afford that shit.
No.
And I grew up real poor. I'm from Falfurrias. I don't know if I ever told you.
Yeah.
If you knew that. And real poor there, There's not a whole lot of money walking around Falfurrias, Texas.
No.
And but I'm pretty fortunate and thankful that, like, I did grow up simple that way, and got to see, like, if you want, there was no, hey, let me Snapchat them, see what they're up to.
Nah.
You want to check on somebody, see what they're up to, you drive by their fucking house.
Yeah, drive by the house.
Yeah. Like,
Call
hey,
the landline.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I still remember my grandma's fucking home phone to this day.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
296. Beep, 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 beep. I guess you'd call now. It's 3218.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember.
3255991.
Yeah.
That number
I mean,
doesn't exist anymore. I don't think there are home phones.
Yeah.
Like, does anybody even have a home phone anymore?
Dude. My grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
You
still has
just
one.
gave her number out to the world.
Yeah, well, she's passed. So
Well, they don't have an area code.
good
so-
luck trying to call her.
Hey. Take enough fucking mushrooms, you just might.
Yeah. If you take enough of them, you might be able to talk to her, not just call her.
Oh man. But no, yeah. So going back to your buddy Aaron, I've made a couple friends like that. Where like I don't even know these people, but they just seem like cool people. And then you're fortunate enough to like link up with them in life later on, and maybe a year or two goes by, whatever. And I've had those experiences, pretty cool. Just I made friends through comedy. I've made some friends, or a lot of people have been very supportive. I was not that I was expecting it, but I was open to the idea that people wouldn't be fans of me, like just wouldn't like me for no reason. And a lot of people, I got a lot of support, man. A lot of people, man, it's cool to see somebody like you, whatever, do stand up and be funny or whatever. And a lot of people are very supportive. Like, hey, if you're ever in this area, I got you. You're on shows, I got you.
That's awesome,
And
dude.
I made friends with this guy out of Canada. Shout out Cowboy Cole. He has a company called I Love Hot Rodeo Moms. I don't know if you've probably seen the T-shirts and stuff, the stickers, whatever, they're everywhere. But that's him, Cowboy Cole. And I met up with him at the NFR this year, and we'd been back and forth on Instagram, texting and stuff. So when you get to like finally link up with somebody, like, it's pretty cool, man. Like, yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it is super cool how you like just form relationships over like, you know, the internet or just like phone calls. You know what I mean? It's like I know this person, but like until you like meet them, it's like, who are you really? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's really cool. I've been super fortunate, like with trucking and man, some of my closest friends are fucking out thousands of miles away. You know what I mean? And like they're the boys. Like that's, you know.
So you've done mushrooms before, right?
Look at the shirt, brother.
Did it ever not bother you, but like did it ever mess with you a little bit traveling so much and like you're on mushrooms, like, wait a minute, I was just in like 1,000 miles from here, now I'm right here. That was one thing, like I wouldn't say it bothered me, but it would mess with my head, like, wait, where am I right now? Like it would, when I was on mushrooms, that was something that would happen.
Man, well, I just recently, probably like the last year, just like got into mushrooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but yes, I can say, how did I just get here? Different substances, but it's like, whoa, what just happened? I was there and now I'm here.
Dude, like even hopping on a flight, like I remember one time I did mushrooms after coming home from work, and I'd flown in from like Seattle or somewhere, and like when I was on mushrooms, I was thinking like, dude, I was just like a long way from here,
And now I'm here.
I'm here. Am I even home right now? Like,
yeah,
it really messed with me. And do you have any tattoos?
Dude,
Is that your thing?
I want my whole upper body done.
Dude, I have the most random goofy shit. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
I got a tattoo of me
Leading a horse?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I got a mud flap, like Mexican mud flap.
Love it. I have not seen that. I love the sombrero, dude.
And then, like this one, it says, no es el calor, es la humedad. You know what that means?
I don't.
It means it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
It's the humidity, yeah. Of course it is.
Dude, I just got my first tattoo when I was in New Orleans, like 2023, March of 2023. And my buddy, one of my best friends in the world, Blake Brooks, him and my buddy Steven Jeffco would have a bar called the Rambler in New Orleans on Frenchman Street. And right next door is a tattoo shop. So one day I'm in there and I'm on mushrooms. I'm like a what's it called, microdosing.
Yeah.
So I'm just chill, and I'm drinking too. And this tattoo artist walks in after a session, goes to get a shot and drink a beer. And my buddy Blake's like, "Hey, when are you gonna get your first tattoo?" And I'm like, right now, let's do it. And he's like, "All right." The tattoo artist was like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I was fucking around. I'm talking shit." And he's like, "Come on, man. Do you want a tattoo?" I'm like, "Yeah, eventually." He's like, "Well, why wait? Let's just get it over with." I'm like, "All right, you're right."
Yeah.
So then I got this little I was kind of a bitch. I got this little outline of Texas. Because, like, I'll never regret having that on my skin,
I lie.
Yeah.
I've been all over, and there's some really cool places in the United States that I would live, and I wouldn't mind to live, but Texas is home.
Yeah, damn right.
Texas forever, brother.
Damn right.
I love my state.
So I got that tattoo, and after that, I have 9 now. I got them all over, and And there's been something fun. I've been enjoying that. So my local spot here is a Our Lady tattoo shop in San Marcos.
Okay.
Austin from Austin, good dude, and he did the mud flap chick, and he did
Nice. I like
my armadillo.
I like the cactus with the spur too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like that with the kind of the tribal. I like it.
yeah. And I get a lot of compliments because it's not something you see. I don't want shit that everybody else has. I don't want the trees or the infinity sign.
Yeah, I got a sugar skull. I got this in college with a couple buddies. It says never settle, but it looks like never Seattle. It looks like never Seattle.
Hey,
it was like a
moving?
half hair salon, half tattoo parlor, and we pulled up. It was like 5 minutes before this dude closed. He was outside smoking a cig, drinking a damn 40 of Smirnoff. He's like, fuck it, y'all come in. I'll do it. Whatever.
Never Seattle.
Never Seattle.
Where are you from? Never Seattle.
Never Seattle. Yeah, I got an ex date on, some ribs, and yeah, I got I don't know, 6 or 7, something like that. But
Dude, so I just don't want to have the same tattoos as other people. I mean, I'm proud to share this one with all my fellow Texans.
100%.
But yeah, I know this is something I've been getting into, and I enjoy it. I like it.
Yeah, no, I got
I was a pussy. I wanted nothing to do with tattoos my whole life.
yeah, I got a brand too.
No shit.
Yeah, I have my brand on my chest. It looks like a $, but it's DP. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hanging clothes hanger. Yeah, clothes hanger.
How old
on
were you
it.
when you got that?
35.
15.
15.
Yeah, that's not something you do in your 30s.
No, hell no. 15, heated it up on my grandma's gas stove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure my brother took a lot of fucking pleasure in just sizzling me twice, you know what I mean? Honestly, for almost 20 years, this is one of the better brands I've seen, you know what I mean? It's a good brand.
Your brother's still on the road?
No. He actually just sold his last truck a month or two ago.
No shit.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to be. He's like, I don't want to be in that damn thing every day, which he was never in one every day to begin with. But
So-
he did some trucking. If you hear it, LB, I'm not gonna say you didn't truck. You did do some trucking, but I don't. You were in one every day for 2 months.
One of the weirdest feelings ever to me. I spent about 6 or 7 years in this one truck. I might have left and came back, but overall I spent about 6 or 7 years in truck 148 at Brookledge. And then I moved on. I went to a different company, lived a different life, was out west a lot, and I saw that truck all over the country. And it was a weird feeling.
Yeah, to see your truck.
See my truck.
Yeah.
What are you doing in my truck?
For sure.
And I see it going down the road, and I'm like, the one that got away.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ever hit the lottery or made a lot of money, I'd track that truck down and buy it just to have it.
Yeah, no.
I almost died in that truck. A lot of life happened in that truck.
Yeah, dude.
I almost died in a wildfire in California one time in that truck.
I bet that was wild.
Yeah, so I'm on the Grapevine in California. Yeah, it's on fire, right? So I see helicopters and planes and shit. I'm like, oh, this mother. Cause I thought it was just a traffic jam. I'm like, this motherfucker's on fire.
Yeah, the Grapevine's a good one too.
And so I told my buddy Nacho, I'm like, hey man, if shit gets serious, I'm unhooking from the trailer, and I'm bull rushing car, and I'm riding that shoulder, and whatever's in my way is getting pushed out of my way.
Yeah.
And we're not. I was like, burning alive is one of my biggest fears, but even more so, I'm not dying in California.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah,
Ain't gonna do it.
I ain't dying in fucking
Ain't
California.
doing it. No.
I'll fucking remember the Alamo. I'm dying in Texas.
Davy Crockett said
Yeah.
it best, brother.
Yeah.
Davy Crockett said it best.
But I lived a lot of life in that truck, and I see that I've seen it all over the country, and it's so weird. Like, dude, that's my truck. Like, just a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Ever happened to you?
Man, I've been in, dude. No, because most of the trucks I was in have I probably wouldn't see them. I have seen one truck that I've been in, but it wasn't my truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have,
You spent some time in it.
I've like probably 3 trucks. I would say like that was like my truck. The blue Kenworth I drove for my brother.
That was
and
a bad bitch.
And like my little boy, like how he still remembers that blue truck, it blows my mind. But like, he's like, "Why'd you sell that truck?" And I try to explain to him, it's like it wasn't ours, you know. But
Yeah.
he still remembers that truck. Like that was, you know, it was my brother's truck, but like that was my truck. I treated it like mine, and then there was a couple others, but probably the blue truck. It was, yeah.
So
A lot of miles and a lot of like close calls in that one. A lot of close calls.
So we've been doing this about 2 hours. I always like to end it on this particular question. I have a weird relationship with music. Music's been a big part of my life. I'm a music.
I love music.
Yeah, and I'm a nerd on certain things. Like I can't play any instruments. I have zero musical talent to me. This is one of my favorite bands in the world, Nether Hour. Love
Right
those
on.
guys. They're super talented. I can never do what they do, and I think it helps me appreciate it even more. Not being able to do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like magic. Like somebody seeing a truck going down the road, they could never get the
Yeah,
brakes
yeah.
released, much less get it down the road.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I feel. I can't play guitar. I can't do all that. So I have this love for music. So one question I like to ask, and I like to end it on this. You die one day. You're going to die one day. You're going to go to heaven. When you get to heaven, God says, hey, we're happy to see you. Welcome. I'd like to welcome you with a concert of your choice. You get 5 artists, or 5 bands, 5 artists. You get 5 things. And you could completely fabricate however you want it to be. Like, let's say you're like, I want the Eagles, but I want the Beatles playing in the Eagles.
Yeah, okay.
What are your 5 bands?
Dang it.
And these are dream bands. This is like, I want Aerosmith, but I want Stevie Ray Vaughan on lead guitar.
Let's
Whatever
see.
the fuck you want.
Dang. If I were to choose right now, it would probably be like I really dig the Revivalist. Zach Top. Wyatt Flores, shout out to Wyatt Flores. I'm not going to say he's a dear friend, but I do know him. We spent some time together, and super proud of him. Like, he's killing it right now. Super fucking
name.
super cool kid too. Super fucking cool kid. So Wyatt, just because he's the homie, and I love to hear him play, and I've wrote a song with him, Ken Bockham, from Kermit, Texas, and who else? Probably Chris Ledoux, just to like, God, dude, he's got some good trucking songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
got some good trucking songs.
Good songs.
So, yeah. So, yeah, that would be it.
Hell yeah. Mine changes all the time. It's like the same thing. Like, you ask me this a year from now, it's going to be a different answer. But lately, I've been real big into Marshall Tucker Band.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, for some reason, me and Marshall Tucker Band have been getting along real well.
Nice.
One of my favorite things in the world, take a lot of mushrooms, put on Marshall Tucker Band.
Right
And
on.
it just speaks to me, you know. Dan, I hate to say it, right? Because it sounds gimmicky, but George Strait.
Amen. Yeah, I almost said George Strait because you can't. I mean, he's the king.
Yeah. Dude, it's a Marshall Tucker Band, George Strait. There's God, it's a hard question to answer. That's why I like asking it.
Yeah, it's always changing too.
Because I feel like it's like a vision into you.
Yeah.
You know, like as a person. And it does change a lot. Like, I feel like there's some other genres in there because I'm at Marshall Tucker, George Strait. This isn't an all-time answer. You ever heard of Atlanta Rhythm Section?
Atlanta, no, can't
Dude.
say that I have.
Yeah, bangers. They got some fucking bangers. They have this song called I Don't Want to Be an Outlaw Anymore.
Okay.
Man. Who else is out there? I don't want to go. What's the Toby Keith? Maybe. You know who used to jam out back in the day was not Brooks and Dunn. What's that one band? Big and Rich.
Big and Rich.
They're not on my
yeah.
list. They're not on my list.
Oh, yeah,
for this.
they did. Yeah, Gretchen Wilson will be at Cattle Country. She did a couple songs. She was big when they were, too. Yeah, she'll be out there.
I remember one time, and I'm straying off from my own fucking question, right? One time, my truck broke down in College Station, my pickup. And Paco was nice enough to drive home and then pick up a gooseneck trailer, take it to College Station, pick up my truck, and then bring it back. Like, that's a big ask.
Yeah.
It's a big ask from somebody. So on the way up with the trailer, we put on Big and Rich. Like, both of us had like a nostalgic little kid moment where we're grown men at 22 years old, 21. We put on some Big and Rich with Cowboy Troy and fucking.
Amen, dude. Hell yeah.
Going down the road like we're little kids again. That's like a prime age for those experiences where like you're free. You don't have any. Most people don't really have like a lot of life going on.
Yeah.
And you can just still be a kid, but you have freedom of an adult, and I think
Yeah.
that's a good era. Of your life.
Yeah.
But man, I'm trying to think who else would be on my list. So where am I? I'm at Marshall Tucker Band, George Strait. Man, I'm gonna say Ryan Bingham. I'm gonna throw Ryan Bingham in there.
Yeah.
I've put Mescalito on front to back. I don't know how many times, and that's a fucking great album.
He's cool too. I've met him. I met him once. He's
I stole his tattoo.
super fucking. He's cool.
He's a bad company rodeo guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Roped some steers with him one night actually at a
Really?
jackpot. Yeah. He a guy I was with knew him real well, and he it was super cool. Called him. He's like, I'm flying into San Antonio. Jackpot's here. Load the horses, and I just happened to be like running around with this guy at the time, and he's like, we're gonna go to Jackpot. Ryan Bingham's gonna be there. I was like, oh, that's cool, super cool.
Is this pre or post Yellowstone?
Way pre. Yeah,
okay.
This was like 2015.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 2015.
So you could still.
And I'd met him a time before that, but like not, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like on a personal level?
Yeah. He, it was a jackpot like a day before my nephew's like diaper roping, and he was there, and I got I don't have it saved, but I had a Snapchat video, not it just came out, but I was pretty new to it, and he, I was like, are you, because everyone's like, that's Ryan Bingham. I was like, I didn't know who he was. I was like, are you him? He's like, yeah. I was like, can I make a video of you? He's like, yeah, this is Ryan Bingham. I'm here with Dakota. What do you say? Drinking doubles and seeing triples or some shit,
Yeah.
So he was cool.
Oh, yeah. I don't, politically or what, I don't give a fuck about that. Music.
Yeah, he jams.
Yeah. You're not going to say he doesn't.
No, he jams.
I like people, Sturgill Simpson.
Oh, yeah, Turtles all the way down, man. Dude, Sturgill jams.
Yeah.
He's good.
And then, for me personally, he's on another level. There's something else there.
Yeah,
it's
he's
music,
really good.
It's music, but there's something else that makes it what it is for me. And so I'm going to throw Sturgill on the list.
Yeah, he's good.
I feel like I have to. And then, you know what? Aretha Franklin. No, I'm just kidding.
She could sing.
I can't even name one song.
No, I couldn't. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Dude, there's something about
I'm pretty sure that's Aretha. Oh, Shane Smith.
Yeah, that's some great music right there.
Man, dude. We super cool fangirl moment for Shane Smith last year at Cattle Country. It was Sunday morning, and we woke up to him doing sound check to he was singing Hurricane.
No shit.
By the Band of Heathens, doing sound check at Cattle Country. That was super fucking cool.
Chase is I think I'm right here. Chase's wife, I think her name's Jennifer. The bass player, Chase. Mm-hmm. His wife was supposed to go to the show on Thursday. She told me she bought tickets. Maybe they didn't go. Maybe they did go. I just didn't see them. But they were either there or supposed to be there.
Nice.
But she reached out randomly. I hung out. They played at the Ryman in 2023.
In Tennessee?
Yeah.
Phew, that place is fucking cool.
Yeah, so Shane Smith played at the Ryman, and Tanner Usry opened for them, and I got to hang out with them in the back. And so whenever I came out on Kill Tony, she's good. Chase is good friends with Jason Kleppel that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So she texted Jason, was like, "Hey, is that your buddy that you brought with us to the Ryman?" He's like, "Yeah, that's Carlos." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know he was a comedian." Well, he's not. He just started, like, you know. And so, anyways, so she messaged me and she's like, "Hey, you know, I love to see it. Huge fan, and it's cool that we met before." I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And she's like, "I want to be there Thursday." I sent her a link for the tickets, whatever. But yeah, Shane Smith, great band.
Yeah, dude.
I saw them at Red Rocks, Midnight River Choir, Molly Tuttle, Charles Wesley Godwin, and then Shane
Oh,
Smith.
Molly Tuttle's good too.
The Golden Highway.
Oh man, yeah. Or, what's the other one? Oh, it's something about growing weed. I can't remember what the song's name.
No,
is.
I think that's what her band's called, Molly Tuttle and the Golden Highway.
Oh, the Golden Highway. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But dude, that was a hell of a concert.
Oh,
Midnight
I bet.
River Choir. They just jam.
They jam, dude. Yeah.
And they're local. They're from around here.
Yeah. Shout out. I have their koozie. I had it.
It's on the floor right there.
Shout out Midnight River Choir. Yeah, they do jam.
Or 12 a.m. Choir on Instagram.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Well, let's go ahead and close it out like that. It's been an honor. I appreciate
Dude,
you
thank
having
you.
me here.
It has been an honor. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. We're out of here. Thank you.